Who's first? Zangbero. Groovy Fee comes in next. What's up? What's up? What's up? Neri 21?
What's going on?
Neri's
Nary's 21.
Andre where I'm gonna say Andre. I feel like it's an Andre, not an Andre. Definitely not an Andros, the Red Ranger from In Space. I watched that.
Andretti.
Tubi has a lot of Power Rangers episodes, and I was just like enjoying Power Rangers seasons, just having fun. It was great.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and they were walking us through the chronology of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I knew that there were movies, and I know there's like 100 different teams. I never realized that it was just one continuous story. I thought they were recasting over and over and over again. I didn't realize this was one continuous thing, and then the original characters come back all the time.
Even when it's separated, they'll still find a way to say, well, the morphing grid, it connects them, and that's how they transported from that universe to this one.
Yeah, no, Power Rangers is definitely one of the most underrated, untapped franchises from the 90s. And yeah, man, I feel like people forget about Power Rangers. I certainly forgot. I didn't realize that it was like one canon.
It was up until year 30. They did Power Ranger Cosmic Fury. It came to an end. And yes, they did talk about Zordon, and they did kind of tie things up. But what they do next, because Disney is going to have the rights, what they do next with Power Rangers will be brand new, and nothing will be attached. If they get like an actor to cameo, that's probably the best you can get. But they're going to pretend like this new Power Rangers is not associated with the old one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to a point that's already been established in the canon and try to jump off from it and try to retcon Power Rangers. That's what they do. It's literally what they do. They try to have to put their Disney stamp on it, which usually is a degrading factor. But we shall see. Like I said, it's one of the more undertapped IPs that we got in Hollywood right now, for sure.
It makes me think of asking, and I'll ask the chat, how many years do you want to go before a reboot, knowing that Power Rangers did 30 straight years, keeping everything together? There's been some divides, but keeping everything intact. Is a 30-year franchise good? Like if the MCU started in 2008 and they want to make their final movie in 2038, we can say, oh, that 30-year chunk, right? Like what's an appropriate length to go?
When was the last Power Rangers project?
2 years ago.
Uh, 5 years. If you're a reestablishing studio, right? Like you're the new kid on the block. You're not the former steward. So now everybody's coming in, not really having an expectation. It would benefit you, I think, to take your time and to put some distance in between the last iteration and your new iteration. I don't think it suits anybody to just piggyback up right away after what was already beloved and established has ended. Right? People are still kind of wallowing in that. I don't want to call it grief, but like the residual fandom from what they've had to what they were connected to. If you want a new audience to build, you kind of have to sever that connection a bit. You kind of have to let it die off.
I don't mean like the waiting period between the ending of the old Power Rangers and what year they begin with the new. I just mean while they're going on, right? It was a 30-year run. Marvel right now, we're like at an 18-year run. Like how long should these runs be?
I think the studios would have them be infinite. I don't think they really want it to end. And honestly, this whole connected universe, continuous story thing, even though we just established Power Rangers was doing it even long before the MCU, but it is still very rare, right? It's not like every studio has this continuous through line that they can just keep adding IP onto. It is, 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking of Power Rangers, Lord of the Rings.
DC, Fast and Furious can add a spin-off here and there. John Wick, I guess, with Ballerina. It's more than you think.
But it's not. I wouldn't call John Wick, not yet. John Wick's been around for 10 years.
Yeah, but they already have that TV show in the hotel.
Oh, they do have the Continental. You're right. Yeah, we reviewed that one. They got the Continental. They have Ballerina. I just feel like the story hasn't really strayed away from John yet to say that it's a world per se. It's more so John's POV and the peripheral of John's POV, like just right on the side of him. It's never really someone else way off in the left field. Um, Kind of like how Star Wars, you can go pick a character anywhere in the universe and it'd still be a Star Wars story. John Wick's not necessarily there yet. Fast and the Furious is slowly approaching it, but they also haven't done a movie without their main cast yet. So their story
Tokyo Drift
on the what is it?
Tokyo Drift and Hobbs and Shaw.
Dominic Toretto showed up in that movie, and then most of the characters that came from that universe ended up in the main story. So they were still part of the family. Han was already working with Dom. The Gal Gadot was already connected. So we just didn't know it at the time. I don't know. I think that you were asking to ask me again. What was the original question?
Let's go Fast and Furious. I think the first one came out in 01, okay?
01.
So that franchise is 24 years old. They're going to have a movie next year. They'll be 25 years old.
Okay.
After a 25-year stint.
Oh, when do you stop?
Yeah, when do you stop with these? And I think 25 years is about like how far? James Gunn, you're planning a 10-year plan? You maybe go a little longer than that, right? Maybe year 11 could be all right, let's see how longer we can go. Not 10 years. 10 years is too short. Plan a 25-year stint, and I'm happy with you.
I don't know. I don't think that the state of his current market gives him more of a roadmap of 15 years. Think about it. What if the first 5 years, Superman and Supergirl are hits, and then the next 4 or 5 DC projects that come out after that are absolutely terrible? Well, then we may not even make it to year 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So I think 10 is lofty even as it is. When Kevin Feige says he has a 10-year plan, I laugh at him. So anybody walking in and tells me that they've already got a plan of how to release content for the next decade, I'm laughing right in your face, because the market changes. Things that you thought were hot 2 years ago aren't even lasting through production now. Right? Things that you thought really put a lot of money into and thought would sell, when they're actually hitting market, by the time you get done with it, people aren't looking for that anymore. So it's changing too rapidly for you to plan that far ahead. I think that's mostly to invite investors. I think it's to invite money into your studio. Like, oh, look, we got this very detailed roadmap plan, and that thing's going to end up getting scrapped. Does anybody remember what the actual third phase of the MCU was supposed to look like? Serpent Society,
Inhumans.
Inhumans was on there. Like, a whole bunch of shit that we never saw the light of day. Never saw the light of day. So, yeah, sounds great in concept. I think a solid executable 5-year roadmap with a slew of projects on it feels adequate. And if you actually execute on the plan, it earns you capital with the public. If you come out and say, we're going to connect the DC universe and make it synonymous, so every time you see a Superman iteration, it'll be the same guy in the video games, it'll be the same guy in the animated stuff, it'll be the same guy on the silver screen, and you actually deliver on that, people start actually, putting weight behind your words. They actually show up for your projects because they know what to expect. The things that you say is what they're going to see on the screen. Now, if you don't, it could lead to some differing results.
Johnny had an answer to the question of Harry Potter, and that's going to be baked in at 7 years because he's in school for 7 years. That's the story.
And then Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, yeah, if you want to go back in time and tell something in the world, the Wizarding world, yeah. Fantastic Beasts. They had 3 of those.
Yep.
Y'all bring up black shows, but never mention Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
I've seen it. I was upset that they got canceled after 2 seasons. They got about 40 episodes and canceled. I noticed they do that with a lot of shows and on the actual linear channels. They really only be on for about a year and a half, and then they're on to their next concept. Which is weird because I felt like when we were kids, those cartoons were on for years. Felt like Proud Family was on for years. Felt like Ed, Ed and Eddie was on for years. Not just like a 2-year gap, 20 or 30 episodes worth, and then we're out of there. I feel like that's something new.
Why you think that we haven't brought up Moon Girl? I can tell you that it never aired when I had Disney Plus. It never aired on Disney Plus here. I guess it was geo-locked. And
yeah, it's a linear, it's a Disney Channel show. But it is on Disney Plus. Maybe it's like you said, it's geo-locked and they don't show it everywhere.
I also know what a push looks like, and there was no heavy push. There was no like concentrated effort from the studio to ensure that the Moon Girl is the way that they want us to care about Wolverine and Deadpool. I didn't get for Moon Girl the way that. So I don't know. I guess I don't want to cheerlead. Maybe we'll get into the Ironheart topic now because this is sort of like that. But I just don't want to expend energy on something with a ceiling, with no hope, or something that I perceive isn't like My Dad the Bounty Hunter. I could really see that thing going and going and going. Moon Girl, I know there's so many more higher priority characters Marvel has, and I know that the way that was advertised and everything, they weren't serious about her.
I mean, I'll be honest, while I was watching it, I felt like it was something that was going to continue. Her story was actually, running into actual Marvel characters. The show was well written. It was pretty well balanced. She's a super genius kid riding a dinosaur. That's very appealing for children.
Yeah, it worked for Moon Boy when he had the dinosaur.
Yeah. Who?
Moon Girl is just a play off of Moon Boy. There's like a secondary version of a original thing.
Is Moon Boy?
Yeah, it's a thing.
No, I'm saying, who is that? I don't know who that is.
He's a character who existed before Moon Girl. So, there. Yeah.
Okay. You got any more background in that? Was his real name? Is he black?
I don't know. No, he's not black. Yeah, I don't know anything about him because they don't use him anymore. It's like Mr. Terrific. Terry Sloan existed first.
Wait. There was some random ass kid in the books who used to turn into a dinosaur. Is that him? Is that the same kid?
No, I don't believe so.
All right. So no, I don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, I didn't realize the play until it was already too late. Until she was having her final episode. She was walking onto a shield ship with Nick Fury. I was like, oh, this is about to be cool. She about to go off with Nick Fury. She about to be doing serious stuff. Maybe the show is maturing. And then everybody was crying. And they was giving her a farewell party and whatever. I'm like, hold on, man, this feels like a final episode. Why is everybody crying? This feels like a final episode. And then I Googled it and it was like, yeah, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur has been canceled. I said, oh, ouch.
At least they got their goodbye.
He's a cave boy, all hair. Okay, I don't know about Moon Boy. Was a monkey with a red dinosaur. Interesting.
Let's get into an early super chat.
In my bag now.
Thank you. I am too fly Cam with the $2. Who would be your pick for Batman 2 main villain? Someone we haven't seen before.
Freeze. I want to see Matt Reeves take on Dr. Freeze. Joker's been done too much. Plus, that feels more like a climactic thing. That feels like an end of the Batman road type of villain. Heavy on the psychological stuff. I want to see how he modernizes and also makes practical the powers of Dr. Freeze. Like, is he some serial killer that puts everybody in the ice box? Does he slaughter you and then leave you on a block of ice? You know what I mean? I want to see how he incorporates the powers. I thought it was very interesting how he did the Riddler in the first Batman, right? It gave him a sense of real life danger. Like, don't nobody look at the Riddler and actually get scared. He made the Riddler maybe not a physically scary person, but like from the concept of someone being able to whip up a crowd and to do something stupid. I think we all can associate with that really real fear in society. So he's a smart guy. I like the way he writes. I like the way he directs. I want to see him do Freeze.
Mr. Freeze was done once. Same movie with Poison Ivy. It's been so long though. Yeah, I could see him. I was looking up a list of names, and Hush. No one has done the villain Hush yet. Boom.
Yeah. Hugo Strange or Clayface. I don't want to see no damn Clayface. Y'all can keep Clayface. If Clayface look anything like that damn kaiju in the Superman movie, I don't want it.
The Clayface just threw him away with that pitch that was given to him by Michael. What's it called? He did such a good job that we have to do Clayface. I don't like that. I don't like knowing that you could have a plan and someone else can just come in and say, we'll do this movie instead.
With you, Dr. Teddy, I'm digging the concept of Dr. Freeze lost his wife, snapped, and became a serial killer. That's what I'm on, right? That's what I'm on. And he got her in like this giant ice box in his basement or something, and he trying to bring her back to life or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on. Give me that. Give me some of that.
Let's get another super chat.
So nowadays they can call me old fashioned, but it's way too much care to see blue light flashing. So I guess.
Thank you to Michael Nemo, $5. I'm gonna read slow, homie. I can walk into a casino with a plan to make 4 times the money I have, but gambling is based on luck plus other things. Same with filmmaking. Feige's plan? LOL. I think I got it. I think I know.
Yeah, I get where he's going. I'm trying to see if he's accurate. I don't think he's necessarily shooting from the hip. I don't think he's just firing off into the dark and hoping that it works. I also don't think that he's doing the self-reflection to see if maybe he's the problem. I think he has a lot of excuses that are being made for him, excuses that he makes for himself, excuses that have probably kept him in the position that he's in thus far. If he's ever going to make it out of this rut beyond what we get from Doomsday and Secret Wars, right? Because I mean, those films are starting to feel like too big to fail. Like almost like if it fails, somebody has to get fired just from the principle of it. But into this next phase of the MCU, I think regardless of a reboot or a big Endgame type of ending in Secret Wars, the future is far more treacherous for Kevin than just trying to sew up what has already been, right? This is more so a second crescendo to everything that they've already done, because in between Endgame and now, there really hasn't been that many significant changes. There's really not that much going on that we can account for to make this feel like a whole nother event. It just feels like a continuation of the Infinity Saga. Like this is how it all kind of unfolded to get us back to a calamity event. So if that's the case, you're still squarely within the history of the MCU. The direction forward with the mutants and potential soft reboot and stuff like that, that's got to scare the shit out of him. It has to, because I'm sure in his mind, after Endgame was that point, and it hasn't been successful. So I think maybe he is gambling a bit, but he's playing with house money too. So
the excuses are empty. The quality over quantity stuff, he's overburnt out. And then I go and I see that in 2028, there's 4 Marvel movies. Like, you can't say these things to me. I'm not just gonna, oh yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, sure. And there was a writer's strike, of course. So that was it. And then it was the COVID, lockdowns and everything. Yep. The excuse I can give COVID-19 was that Falcon and Winter Soldier had a plot where there was a sickness, right? And there was a whole bunch of vaccines that they didn't want to mimic real life. Now I say, put that in the show and you just say, we filmed it before. We had no idea, right? So it's cool. But I guess they want
like The Simpsons. Like you predicted some shit.
Yeah, just we were The Simpsons. Ha, look at us. So that's all you got to do. Like, yeah, just go with the show.
I also don't think that it's pretty ironic that they try to stay away from real life events so often now, because I thought that, Stan Lee says that Marvel needs to represent the world we see out our windows. I thought that was the rationale when we was putting the oldest black character in Marvel's publication on the shelf, solo black character, oldest on the shelf that our world needed to represent what was happening outside. So I mean, if we had an orange haired tyrant, running the show, then maybe we should put Ross in there acting a little bit more crazy, like an orange haired tyrant, or maybe we should go ahead and run with this whole sickness thing. It's not like you saw COVID happening and was like, oh, that'd be great to add to the script. Like, no, it was already established. It runs congruently with everybody's already experiencing, making it easier for people to connect to the show.
But you don't understand. This is a Disney property, and they would never do something like that. Like if Disney had a doctor show, like say Grey's Anatomy, they'd never use COVID in. Wait, they actually did do that, didn't they? That season of Grey's Anatomy,
I absolutely done pandemic stuff.
Yeah, they capitalized on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't give them excuses now. And yeah, Feige's plan, LOL, exactly.
And also, that's Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes has a bit of a long leash. She gets to do what she wants on ABC.
I don't like serial killer Freeze. I'd rather have him just focusing on saving Nora by doing things out of desperation. Dr. Teddy McLovin says, I think it's time for Kevin to step down and we get a fresher person with a better plan to move in the future. He's moved to MCU as far as he can move it now. It's time for a new captain. Back to what I started with. What about if we just ended the MCU and say we're going to go from phase 1 and a brand new cinematic universe will be born?
I think that's the easiest way to go about it, but it's also the scariest for Kevin Feige. If he's not just going to step down after Secret Wars and go off into the sunset and do something else, then resetting after Doomsday has to be the scariest thing. Think about it, right? So not only does he have to climb the mountain of apathy that Marvel has built for itself here over the last couple of years to deliver a crescendo in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Not only does he have to do that, but if he succeeds at that, the audience's expectations will be through the roof now. Okay, by the way, we're restarting and you have to queue up the X-Men now. Okay, I just got us out of dire straits. I just saved us from the graveyard, fam. I got us all the way up here. You want me to do this again up here with Jake Shire? No. We were supposed to be slowing down, telling grounded stories, elevate good stories over quantity. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Ain't nobody want to hear that. Like, you're not going to do that. Nobody's going to come off of a high from Secret Wars and then step back into the theaters for like Broadway theater. No, we're not looking for that, bro. I'm looking for that. Keep feeding a spectacle or go away.
Let's go over to the first of many things we're going to chat about. Ironheart Riri Williams. Her show was heavily review bombed, but don't let me tell you that. Tony.
Apparently, people were reviewing Ironheart negatively before the show came out publicly. Another DI creation of Marvel. No struggle. She's just naturally smart because she's black and a woman. I didn't know that someone that had to overcome losing her dad, her best friend, and her stepfather had everything handed to her. But even if Riri Williams was a genius who didn't have to struggle, comic book fans love that when it happens to white people. Nobody ever saw Tony Stark go study. And he owes most of what he has to his daddy. Stephen Strange, Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, Hank Pym. They show up with ego and bravado, and nobody has a problem relating to them. But if a black woman exhibits the exact same behavior, you hate her character. And that sort of bias is why we need shows like this. And if you're so threatened by black confidence that you review bomb a show where it comes up fictionally, go get some therapy!
I love this tweet though, and what it showed.
Apparently,
Sorry, wrong button. I love what this tweet showed. It showed that there's people who are going to IMDb and going, "Oh, this is only a 1-star project." The show hasn't even come out yet. I hope that IMDb looks at that and goes, "Oh, really? Okay, your account has now been not blocked, muted, so you don't even know when you do it the next time for." Whatever black show they're gonna do it to, they don't even know that their vote doesn't count. But just mute that account and make them think that they're doing something too. Just always, every single show should have a before it goes out and before it's available, you can vote on it, just so we can clean out all of the fakesters who are going to go negative review, and we can clean it up.
Apparently, they purged those reviews from the tally. I think it's sitting around a 70-something% right now.
Okay, everything I just said they did.
Yeah, they took care of it. Well, it doesn't say that they can't come back and do it again, but so I like your version a little bit better. And I like that too, that so many people are talking about that, so that we can just establish that the jumping off point for Ironheart was skewed artificially, right? At least in terms of how it's going to be viewed on sites like Rotten Tomatoes. Now, your own personal reviews of Ironheart kind of just depend on your own personal taste. I feel like there's room to criticize this project. I honestly feel like you're doing it a disservice if you don't criticize it the way that you've done it the rest of the Disney Plus shows, right? If we're to judge it as the same way we've judged WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, all the way down the list, that's doing it its just due. That's giving it a fair shake. So if you're not criticizing just for the fact of, you know, wanting to stay in the good graces of your melanated folks, I don't think you're doing the review any justice. In actuality, you're doing it just as much good as the people who hopped on early before they ever saw it and review bombed it. That being said, I think that if you're going to give the show a shot, give it a shot. Like don't let Rotten Tomatoes tell you whether or not a show is worth watching. Like, especially here in this audience, man, you know when a studio cares about a project, right? And it shouldn't be because some yahoos on a review site told you that it sucked before they ever placed their eyes on it. It should be because you felt like the marketing push wasn't there. You felt like if you were part of one of the represented communities in Ironheart, women, Black women, right? Then why couldn't our show get the shake that Daredevil got? Why couldn't our show get the introduction of shows like Hawkeye or even Miss Marvel? You know what I'm saying? At least Miss Marvel got a weekly release on all her episodes. You're giving us 2 drops of 3 episodes. That kind of stuff signals to people, we're trying to get it out of the way. We're trying to get it out of the way.
Especially like a month after Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well, we saw what a weekly release was. I'd like to see what the next show would be and how they treat that, to know if that, like, Andor was 3 episodes, right?
Andor was 3. They released the whole damn thing to Echo. I guess they didn't do her as dirty as they did Echo, but
so we can measure and see what is a serious, concentrated effort, what it would legitimately care for, and we can see what it looks like when they're low on enthusiasm with the project.
No.
They are experimenting. You know what? All that aside, if I'm going to sit down and watch something, I don't want just 35 minutes of content and then I got to wait a week. So I would be happier to get 3 episodes of that. It means I'm in front of my TV for nearly 2 hours. That's actually cool. With that said, why don't you just structure episodes that way? Like, why didn't the creators know that they would get all 3 episodes beginning on 1 week? Like, if they knew that, they would have formatted what they were giving in that way, in like a 2-hour block.
The last show that they released with a couple of episodes at least to start the season, they had at least it was somewhere between 8 and 10 episodes. So Loki did it. They released multiple episodes in their introduction, but they had 10 episodes, I believe, in season 1.
6.
And then was it how many?
6.
Was it 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Why did it? Well, maybe it wasn't Loki. I know WandaVision did for sure.
Daredevil had 2 that they started with.
Daredevil had 2, and they had what, 9 episodes?
Daredevil, maybe, I think.
And then WandaVision had 9, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So it's only really been a couple of shows that they've released in bunches like that.
Ahsoka began with 2 episodes. That's Star Wars.
And that was, but still, that's still one of the most viewed shows on Disney Plus. And they were coughing at those numbers like nobody was watching it. Okay. I don't think you know what not watching means. You know, I don't want I don't want Ironheart to fall into the acolyte. Like I don't want it to turn into that. I don't think it's deserving of that type of vitriol. I don't think it's deserving of even that on an empirical review side. It's the 55 minutes or so of the show that I've seen so far is undeserving of that type of hate. At the same time, there's only so much that a niche fan base can do to promote a project to propel it forward. And just just to be frank about Riri Williams' popularity coming into this project, it wasn't like she had the strongest comic book runs. And I'm putting that as gently as I can because I'm a Brian Michael Bendis fan. Won't catch me saying anything bad about him. But it just wasn't a whole lot of buzz coming in. You introduce her in Wakanda Forever, and then you wait 2 years to release her project. 3 years, sorry, to release her project. It's just not. It's not giving. Hey, this character is important to the landscape of the MCU.
And I'll see her get asked questions about what she's doing in the future. Will she be in Avengers? Oh, we can't say. We don't know. At least you ask Benedict Cumberbatch. She'll say, yes, I'm in the movie, or I'm not in the movie. With Dominique Thorne, we don't. You're not Chris Hemsworth. You're not Robert Downey Jr. There's so many people you're not. They're actually more serious about using Anthony Mackie as Captain America instead of Falcon. But they're more serious about him than they are with Dominique Thorne. So I never,
only from the sake that he's going to be helping lead the next movies, the next Avengers movies. I don't know how serious they are about making him a respectable Captain America. Maybe they just think that the Russos are going to be able to rehab that character in Doomsday and make him something. I don't know, but if Brave New World was the coming out party for Falcon Cap, ooh wee.
I'm very glad Thunderbolts made less than Falcon Cap because, look, see, worry about that, guys. Worry about Thunderbolts.
Yeah, but listen though. So Thunderbolts made less than Falcon Cap, right? Jake Shire is doing X-Men right now. What's Julius Ono doing? What is Julius Ono doing?
What do you mean?
Is he co-directing?
You're beginning to sound like Bo DeMayo.
Where is his job? Where was his promotion? If all you had to do was make $400 million, where is my job?
Anyways, Dominique Thorne's name wasn't on the chair, but Anthony Mackie's name was. I see, not even mentioning comic books, and they don't use her in comics. I see what Ironheart's glass ceiling is. I know she's a secondary version of Iron Man. I get it. You can't get me too enthusiastic about it. Dramac was doing a great live stream about this earlier this morning, and how he's like, well, I gotta support it. That's just me. I'm gonna give up my watch time. I'm gonna check it out. What you guys want to do? What you guys want to do? Time. What you guys can do? What you want to do with your guys' time? But he's gonna support it, and I got no issues with that either. Yeah, give it your watch time. If you guys have a Disney Plus account and you want to give it your watch time, I don't see what else you're gonna give your watch time. That's not this. Yeah, go ahead, give Ironheart watch time. But I'm not creating videos, editing, and doing the recast Shuri, or not Shuri. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. What I do for recast T'Challa, trending day, that kind of stuff for Riri Williams, who I see no future for.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It doesn't stop you from watching it in your personal time, but in terms of lending the channel to review it, I don't feel like it's going to be a fruitful endeavor.
I'd like to see those Neil's. Sorry, go ahead.
I just said I don't feel like enough people are watching.
I want to see those Nielsen TV records that they do. Let me open that up now.
While you're doing that, I will say, if they go ahead and introduce a certain someone that's been rumored to introduce into the show, that will have me change my tune. It absolutely will have me change my tune, because we go from a show that really doesn't have any real MCU stakes. This is very isolated, and you really have to care about the character a lot to care about what's going on in the show. We've gone from there to, oh no, this has some overlapping impact. Like, this is going to bleed into something else somewhere else in the MCU. That's getting back to the parts of the MCU that I liked. So I will absolutely, if that individual pops up, be doing a review for sure.
Andor did 3 episodes per drop. They were written in 3-episode story arcs.
I don't watch Andor, never will. So
No, I'm just saying, why even divide them into 3 episodes if you know they're all coming in 1 week? You can just create all of that and say this is 1 episode. It's expected to be watched in 1 sitting.
I'm confused by the arcs. There are multiple stories going on in Andor. Do they all know that they're about to die? Does everyone not know that they're going to die? I don't understand. I don't get it. I still don't get it. How they have this much story going.
Nielsen has Sirens, which is a Netflix show with 5 episodes, and that's crazy. Look at the millions of minutes watched. Last week when we were looking at this, I think Andor was the show, and they were at 900 million minutes watched.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is a juggernaut. When Stranger Things comes out, it'll probably also be in the 4 digits of millions of minutes watched, however they release theirs, because they do multiple episodes. And
Look at Bluey.
Let me go to original. So Sirens, Handmaid's Tale. There's Andor. Down there. 10th place. 385 million minutes watched. So if you add that to the 900 that they had last week, I guess that helps. Good for them.
There's more people, almost 100 million more.
Yeah.
More people watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They're watching Andor.
On Hulu.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Maybe
Yeah.
watching them soak. Watching them soak. You know what that is? You look it up off stream. I don't think I can say it without getting too explicit.
Is it a collaborative effort?
It is a collaborative effort. There's even a witness to the affair to help the comings and goings get along. It's called Shaking the Bed. Got to shake the bed, baby. Shake the bed.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's how many people are watching this? Somebody got that, and they're enjoying
Oh no, somebody's definitely heard of soaking. It's just it's a baffling undertaking, like, because somehow it's not intercourse for them.
Oh,
yeah, it's like their workaround.
It's like the Family Guy episode with the ear.
I don't know the episode.
Okay, good.
Okay.
How much of the top 10 is dominated by old shows? Big Bang, Bluey, NCIS, Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the streamers look at that as valuable because that's what's keeping people subscribed to their streaming service. So it is.
If they watch cable for, why wouldn't they watch it on the streaming service?
See, it matters. It matters how long you have watch time in front of you. When Thunderbolts initially dropped, everybody called it a box office success. Not even a month later, those same folks were saying how much of a box office failure it was. And as usual, the director failed upwards.
It's because they were, just quite frankly, they were buying a lot of media at that time. The opening weekend and the week that pursued the opening weekend of Thunderbolts was filled with propaganda. I mean, jam-packed. They're the new Avengers. This is the best film since Endgame. Oh my God, Jake Shire's rumored to do the X-Men. And then that second week hit like a meteor in Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
And it just slowly died off in the weeks to come. Like a lot of people predicted that it would. And it ended up, like you said, making less than Cap and Falcon. So he absolutely failed up. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Hey, I got a question. What am I looking at right now? What is this? We got 50 Cent. We got, I don't know this dude's name. I think I know the dude on the right. He's the Aquaman. We've got Roman Reigns.
OTC.
What? It says cast update?
I don't know who the fuck that is with the mask. Who is that?
Probably some luchador or something. I don't know.
Some luchador is crazy.
Yeah, they're into wrestling. It's a cast update for Street Fighter. Yes. Street Fighter is being created. We've got an article that Chillmonger hasn't right-clicked on and copied and pasted yet to show and share on screen. We've got an article to read here. Heat Vision. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson joins Jason Momoa. Noah Centino in Street Fighter. Andrew Koji and Orville Peck are also already on the call sheet of the adaptation of the Capcom video game. Alrighty. You read that for me, please? Oh, duh. Like, this is
goddamn
pop-up hell. Go.
The rapper turned actor and entrepreneur has joined the eclectic cast of Street Fighter, Legendary Entertainment's feature adaptation of the classic Capcom video game. And what a diverse bunch it is. The call sheet ranges from A-listers Jason Momoa. I wouldn't necessarily call him a A-lister.
He's an A-lister.
He's an A-lister?
Is he a B-lister?
And Denzel are A-listers. You think Momoa is an A-lister?
Yeah, where would you put him?
Nah, a B. A B.
This is why we have chat. Everyone, A or B?
He's not an A-lister. An A-lister is like top of Hollywood. You think Jason Momoa is sitting at the top of the Hollywood chain?
Yeah, Aquaman grossed $1 billion.
Damn, Aquaman was so long ago. It was so long ago. And it's a superhero thing. You know, they look their nose up at that kind of stuff.
B minus.
B minus B. Yeah. You're not an A-lister. Brad Pitt is an A-lister. You think Momoa and Brad Pitt are eating at the same table?
Momoa is a C-list actor with A-list status. That's
an interesting mix. That averages out to a B. Out to a B.
A-list status. That's all I'm saying is the status. A B-lister for sure. A for the ladies.
Good point, Protocol.
No. What do you mean no?
He just said no. Where was I at? Jason Momoa as Blanca. To Heartthrob Noah Centine as kin to gay country singer Orville Peck as Vega. Okay. Joe Anoy, aka WWE superstar Roman Reigns, the martial artist actor Andrew Koji from Warrior. Okay, I know him. And are on the roll call for as battler Akuma and lead character Ryu, respectively. Kalina Liang. Okay, yep, we got to the point that I wanted to talk about.
That's who she was. I heard it pronounced Ryu and not Ryu, and that finally people will pronounce it correctly. Like Thanos was what was said before from comic readers, and now they all gotta say Thanos. Same thing's gonna happen with Ryu.
Okay, cool. I'll say it however she wants us to.
Do you say Mario or Mario?
Mario.
Because he actually says his name. It's Mario.
To me, I'm Mario. Chun-Li.
Mm-hmm.
Chun-Li. Lady, you're gonna have to do some squats. See, the first picture I seen of her, it was neck up. So I wasn't sure. I was like, all right, maybe she's, she's built out a little bit. About that big.
Okay.
Well, but here's the reason why I say it matters. And I think they know it matters, but they just didn't want to be a male chauvinist pig like I'm doing right now. But I will stand up for everybody, and I will let y'all know what needs to be said. When we're looking at Curtis Jackson, when we're looking at Jason Momoa, when we're looking at the OTC, the owner of the Unafale, Roman Reigns, what are they cast for? Are they cast for their Academy Award-winning acting skills? Fuck no. They're juiced. They're huge, and they look like Street Fighter characters. Now, why would we look at Chun-Li? Probably, what up, Darius? Probably the most notable character for their physical appearance. Like, she has unhuman-like huge legs, and get the daintiest girl that we could find. There's no bodybuilding, marginally attractive Asian martial artist that we could have cast to get this role. Or are they going to CGI her? They may CGI her.
Yeah, I misunderstood where you were going with that. You mean the thigh muscles need to be large?
Yes, she's like jacked on her lower body. Hips, the lies look like she's.
I agree.
Huge. Yeah,
that's what the character looks like. Do the job. Get in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Hit them squats.
It says Jackson will play Balrog, a disgraced boxer who is the bodyguard of the villain. Sources say he's deep into training for the part and will be doing his own stunts for the picture. Yeah, 50 Cent is not doing his own stunts. Why would I don't believe that. Sources say. All right, sources. Legendary had no
How bad is
comment.
it going to be? It's just hand-to-hand combat. I'm sure he boxes or spars or does something.
Kitao Sakari from the Eric Andre Show is directing the feature, which begins production in August in Australia. Legendary is co-developing and co-producing alongside Capcom. Plot details are being kept in under wraps. Hey, this has potential to be like a pretty good little movie. It's a popular franchise already. Video game curse is over. So yeah, let's do
Is
it.
Legendary Nolan's company? Is that his? I feel like Legendary was okay. Maybe I'm tripping. Was Legendary over the Batman trilogy with Bale? Is that who produced that? Let me see. What are some Legendary movies? I'm trying to gauge whether or not this
Legendary
is
movies. I don't think you'll get what you want.
I'll put Legendary Studios movies.
Yeah, find the Wikipedia list.
Like this is the difference between it being something like Dungeons and Dragons or Doom. Like that's what I'm trying to assess here.
You mentioned Dune, the director of that got the job that the director Christopher Nolan just turned down for James Bond.
The James Bond, yes sir.
I'm pretty disappointed in the casting so far. Jackson will play 0 cents. That's my
it was. They did Batman Begins.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. They did all of them. They did Batman Begins. They did Dark Knight. They did Dark Knight Rises. They did 300. Unfortunately, they did Superman Returns. I don't know why we did that. 10,000 BC. That's an underrated film.
Yes, it's Christopher Nolan's. It says
yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, y'all.
Chung Lee actress is sounding like Finn Jones' Iron Fist. Tony says, Darius, what up? Probably shouldn't have clicked on that one, as he just had to leave to take care of some things. Well, yeah, I said what I said about Street Fighter. And I know last week I mistaken Mortal Kombat with Street Fighter. My mistake, but they are the same thing.
Oh, absolutely not.
The same thing.
Absolutely not.
Side-scrolling fighting game. They're on their 10th game each. The same thing.
You mean the video game? Well, I can't even say the video game is the same thing.
Same thing.
Mortal Kombat doesn't happen on Earth. Yeah, who cares? Earth, some alternate universe, same thing.
What planet is on? Fanatics? Boy, I tell you. Hey, were you at the Oklahoma City parade?
No.
There was only about 20 people there. They out there embarrassed in Oklahoma.
I don't know why that is the narrative that is pushed. I was not there, but the city was shut down. It was crazy. Yeah, I have no reason to hype the Thunder up. I could give a fuck, but the city was shut down.
You know, they had some overhead shot trying to compare it to the what other was it? The Cavs? It was somebody else's. Oh no, Milwaukee. It was Milwaukee's championship parade. Maybe they just have less to do in Wisconsin than y'all got to do during the day down there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and the crazy thing was there still wasn't even. I don't even want to say there wasn't even a lot of. There was still it was a lot of people there. It was just stupid the time they had it. I had it at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to call off work to go to the championship parade.
People were closed.
Oh, they closed.
Some people's jobs were giving them like as a sick day or whatever, just closing or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thunder fan today. Was you a Thunder fan?
Who, me?
I would have been a Thunder fan that day.
Oh. Yeah, no, I was at home. It was hot as fuck.
They said it looked like a Travis Scott.
I don't get it. Like, he's a basketball coach and everything. You would think this event like this, it's free, right? You go outside, just watch the cars drive by you, or not the cars, the the big bus. Hi, oh, Shea Gilgeous, hey. And then
are you talking about me going?
Yeah, you're a basketball guy.
I also have. I'm a basketball coach with bills. Shay's not paying my bills at 10 a.m. Yeah, so I have bills.
Better all-time film. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. We don't do that.
Oh, Ricardo, where do you work?
Oh, that's your. He's a Oklahomian. He's an Oklahomie.
That was,
Yeah,
I bet they say
Ricardo
that.
is from here.
That's your Oklahomie.
Yeah, Ricardo's from here.
If y'all start using that, I want to check. If you start running around calling people your Oklahomie, I want to check.
I will say it was dope in the videos, seeing Shay jump down, go, interacting with the crowd. Not something you normally see at NBA parades. And of course, like the picture I posted on Twitter, unless you're from the city, you may not understand it, but the bombing and then the parade happening directly in front of the bombing, it was very significant. So very good for the city. Something that is definitely needed. So,
And you weren't there because
what, I don't know. You want the laundry list? I'm not a Thunder fan. It didn't impact me that much. I don't really care. Steph wasn't out there. There were no superstars out there. I mean, do you want me to continue?
I wanted you to say because they don't pay my bills. Super chat. Better all-time films. Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise?
Ooh.
Why are you derailing us? Because we can go 20 minutes on this one.
Are we doing okay? Hold on. What are the parameters? We just doing films overall? Are we talking action films?
Sure.
What are the? There's so many.
I gotta say Tom Cruise as far as like fun factor, but acting factor, Mr. Rogers, Forrest Gump, the Toy Story, Tom Hanks is.
Yeah, but he didn't ask you who the better actor was. And some of my favorite movies are Tom Cruise movies. I love Mission Impossible. A Few Good Men is legit in my top 5.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Rain Man, Days of Thunder. Like, bruh, I don't even like NASCAR. I've never watched a NASCAR race in my life, and I love Days of Thunder.
Tom Hanks.
I'm gonna go Hanks because of the Toy Story quadrology.
But it's so
not just Toy Story. I mean, Forrest Gump, Castaway,
Top Gun, and
he was stuck in the
Cruise
airport.
Successfully recreated one of his originals and made it successful, modernized. Like if we make it Forrest Gump today, I don't even think that movie's getting made.
It's still a classic.
I think Hanks is the better actor. I think the better movies, Vanilla Sky with Cameron Diaz. Come on, man. My boy Cruz list is mountain high.
Jerry Maguire. Did you say that one?
Jerry Maguire. I didn't, but show me the money. Show me Risky Business. Come on, y'all. Come on now.
Well, they're both great, right?
Yes,
it's like
they
LeBron
are
and Michael.
Great. They are both
Tom
great.
Hanks was in The Green Mile. Let's see. What else was Tom Hanks in? Big, which is also a very good movie. I mean, it's kind of underrated to some, but it's a very good movie. Let's see. Angels and Demons. He was also
all of
in
the Da Vinci Code joints for sure.
Apollo 13.
Even in some of his newer stuff, Captain Phillips, Sully.
Yeah, I was just about to say Sully, Cars. Yeah, Tom Hanks.
I'm still going Cruise, man.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, where he played Mr. Rogers. Splash.
I haven't seen that yet.
A League of Their Own.
You got Mail.
Yeah. Sleepless in Seattle.
See, I wasn't sure if that was him or Billy Crystal. I didn't know if that was
that's Tom.
So.
Yeah, I'm Saving Private Ryan as well. Saving Private Ryan as well as Tom Hanks.
Saving Private Ryan is cheating.
Is what?
It's cheating. It's an American vet film. People are going to like that.
It's not cheating. It's on his resume. It's not cheating. It's on his resume.
It is cheating.
It's not cheating. It's on his resume.
That's like if I added Valkyrie into it, like for Tom Cruise. I don't feel like. Of course, if you are fighting Nazis in your movie, that's going to be a popular movie for you. It's like a cheat code.
You still had to act in it. Still had to act.
Okay.
It's on his.
What's a better movie, Valkyrie or Saving Private Ryan? If we telling the truth,
Saving Private Ryan.
I was just about to say I was gonna go with Saving Private Ryan.
Valkyrie is a much more compelling story. Much more compelling story.
There's no crying in baseball.
Oh, he was a baseball coach for the women.
Hey, brother, and you sure can't forget the damn Polar Express. How the fuck did I forget that?
No,
Polar Express is that's a classic.
That's an absolute classic. It's a Christmas time must.
Tom Cruise.
People are saying that Tom Cruise is the better actor. I don't believe he's the better actor, but I do think his films are better.
Who's seeing F1? You know, I entered this Lawrence in the chat and I said, we got to talk about, is F1 that must see? Is it that Black Panther? Is it that Sinners? Is it that movie that when Jordan Peele's got a movie out, you have to go and see it? Is F1 a must see movie or is it a black movie? Like, I'll say no to that. Like, I understand why you won't want to see Damson Idris in this movie. And I'm not going to hold anyone to it or go like, no, you got to check it out. It's not like a strong recommend. It's like, he's just a supporting cast member in a Brad Pitt movie, so I can't give it black movie status. But
it's not a black movie.
I can't.
It's not a black movie, but I don't know if we can say that he's not a co-lead in the movie without seeing it. I don't think if we haven't seen the movie,
I don't know because. Well, I mean, this doesn't mean anything, but just, again, listening to the radio this morning when they were talking about F1, they said, all right, go see F1 starring Brad Pitt in theaters.
Of course, that's how because that's how the B-line is going to read.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, this nigga's on every commercial and almost every single frame. One. So how the fuck do you not mention his name?
And
because they only had 10 seconds before they had to go to commercial on the radio.
Fuck all that. You can say Damson Idris in 10 seconds. I just said it.
Darius like, fuck that. Say his name. Yeah, no, if in terms of who's getting the star treatment, it's Brad Pitt. Obviously, his profile is so much bigger than Damson Idris. This is one of Damson Idris' first entries on the silver screen that of note, right? So I see why the marketing leans toward Brad Pitt. He's the draw. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not a co-lead in the film, though.
Yeah.
And so you got kind of have to see it. Does that make it a black movie because he's co-lead? No, not necessarily. No, I don't think Die Hard 3 is a black film, even though it's co-led by Samuel L. Jackson. I don't think that's a black movie.
There's big benefit of Damson Idris. Like, if this movie is successful and lots of people see it, if it gets awards, like, I can see how this could help Damson in his career. No doubt about that. So for that, I can recommend seeing the movie. If you're on the fence, do I support, do I not support? You're doing something with your dollars if you go and see this one.
Also, I just think it's going to be a good movie. Again, I'm not really into Formula One racing all like that, but I do like Brad Pitt. And it seems like this movie has racing as its setting, and there's going to be a lot of other stuff that keeps the storyline going, right? Like the main plot is probably off the track, which will probably keep people paying attention. So I'm in.
So what did it do that Sinners? Okay, no, sorry. My mind is not working right. I want to jump up to Him. Him is a film. It's about this football player. They make it look like it's the scary side of concussions and things like that. This Him movie is by Jordan Peele, coming out in September. Okay, we already have a trailer for it. What can they do to make them just as successful as Sinners? What is the route? Because we saw Shadow Force come out with Omar Sy and Kerry Washington, and those two bombed. I think the movie only made $5 million. It was terrible, and now you can stream it on Amazon Prime. But that movie was a disaster. Sinners was a success. In comes Him. Jordan Peele's got up, not up. Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
I'm forgetting my one syllable words, but he's got Get Out, he's got Us,
That's
he's
true.
got all these movies and a reputation and an Oscar. So I think that helps him. So I'm not so worried that his movie won't work out well. It is a Universal film that helps. I think that what can him do to replicate Sinners? Does he just hit up every podcast that Coogler hit up too? Like, what do you do?
See, I don't think he's. I think the framing of your question is slightly off.
It is
Yes,
off.
does Jordan Peele want to have the success the Sinners had? Yes, but it's only because he's climbed that mountain before. Now, has he made a historically paced movie the way that Sinners did? No, not necessarily. But he's never come in underwater. And in terms of impact, not just in the movie market, but the cultural impact, he's always been very solid. So I think he's. I want to dance around it a bit. I don't want to go as far as saying he's cracked the code, but he's as close to a guaranteed bet on his investment as you can get from a Black creator. I feel like he's as close to a sure bet in terms of what you invest in him. Now, I don't know what the budget of him is going to be if they went above and beyond on this project than what he's ever done on any of the other ones. Maybe that's something that could get him in trouble in this current market. But that hasn't been the way that we've seen him do things necessarily. And again, I think he has a good hold on cultural relevancy. I think he knows how to tell a story to us and also make it marketable to the masses. It doesn't necessarily have to be digestible to the fair-skinned counterparts there in the market. It could be digestible for us and be heartfelt for us and still be mass produced. I think that's where he finds his unison. So I'm not really worried about him. I think it's going to do well. I'm very excited to see Marlon Wayans in a leading role. Yeah, I think it's all right. I think he's going to do okay. His TZ. What is TZ?
Peele's TZ was terrible.
I don't know. Oh, Twilight Zone. Yeah, I don't watch Twilight Zone. I can't speak to Twilight Zone. My bad.
I would say him costed it $20 million. Why would you
He's
think
gonna
that?
make that back easy? Because it is a show about it's a movie about a football player. So we find a college campus to shoot on. I think we'll do okay. I don't think we have to spend millions of dollars shooting on site overseas or anything like that.
Peele needs to direct Blade. Carolina boy,
direct Blade.
Isn't Peele only producing him? News to me. I thought he was
directing. Yeah. Oh, they say when you make a movie, it's for no one.
Whoa, you're right. Director Justin Tipping.
So he's just producing. Okay. I mean, so that slightly adjusts the viewpoint a bit if he's not directly involved in the storytelling, but it also adjusts the reputational impact, whether or not it's a success or a failure if he's only producing it. So I still think it's going to be a successful project. I like the concept. I don't know how far they'll go into the whole, sell your soul to get it, to make it to become a celebrity thing. I don't know if that's going to be the through line for the entire movie. But that does seem to be the type of thing that's interesting people these days, shit like The Conjuring or Annabelle and what are some of the other ones? The horror demonic scene is blowing up right now for sure.
So what's the next big? I gotta support. Watch this black movie coming out this year. We had Sinners, fantastic.
Next black movie?
Yeah, that's not a race swap either. That's authentic.
There isn't one, is there? I thought that I can think of. There's nothing coming out that is.
Think of actors. What's Viola Davis up to?
She's up to nothing. She's still knocking on Marvel's door. Let's see what is going on. I can't think of anything. There's nothing from any black actors right now.
In the movies. From TV, you can watch Cross. Aldous Hodge got his next season pretty soon. Superstella's coming soon. The Bear, Io Debris, I guess, but that's like it's like
They
F1.
got a couple black characters, don't they, on there? In the pastry chef or the bakery chef black too? Not that that makes it a black show. And to be honest with you, it's not that I'm settling for it. I like to see more decidedly black shows, but I will take shows that are highlighting black people. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be black content for black people to shine and, you know, get work.
Let's see. The next upcoming black films for 2025. Obviously, we've passed Sinners. I'm not sure what this movie is. It's called Opus with Io.
It already came out.
Oh, okay. The Michael film on becoming a.
But Michael film doesn't count because he never considered himself black. He always was trying to lighten his
But I will jump through this camera on you. You better not ever disrespect Mike like that again. What the fuck? Mike is black.
There's a movie. You talking about Michael Jackson?
Michael Joseph Jackson.
We would jump you
from
on
Gary, Indiana.
I will put hands and feet on you for disrespecting Michael Jackson.
Knees and toes too, like hands, feet, all of it.
There's a movie called Number One on the Call Sheet with Jamie Foxx, Halle Berry, Kevin Hart, Nia Long, Viola Davis, and Will Smith.
Documentary.
Oh, damn it. Okay, they're not really giving.
Reginald Hudlin put that together, and The Rock was in it, and everyone was in it.
Okay,
there's some other ones here though. There's this one on becoming a, I don't know what this is, Guinean fowl. The Woman in the Yard. That
one came out already.
A1 hot garbage.
Really? Oh, damn it. Why would you hype me up like that? I was right on the edge of myself. I was like, oh, it's good.
No, God, it's so bad. I hated it. Clean Slate. This is a TV show. It's starring Laverne Cox. It's that TV show she has where she like goes back and hangs out with her dad or something. I've seen the trailer for it. Watson season 1 starring Shamar Moore. Morris Chestnut. Dope Thief. Hey, that's dope. Thief.
I love black people and thieves. It's just peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, it's a crime thriller, The Town Dope Thief.
Oh.
Follows 2 Philadelphia friends who pose as DEA agents.
I saw the preview for this actually already.
Oh, did you see it?
Brian Tyree Hill is in it, right?
Yes, I was gonna say, what's his name? One of the Eternals is in it.
Yep.
Yeah,
from the Eternals is in it. Yeah,
and that's where it stops. Those were the upcoming 8 upcoming titles from black filmmakers in 2025.
I seen somebody talking about the Scary Movie reboot. I think that's coming early 2026. Which, you know, I'll definitely be there for that.
Now they have movies now these aren't black movies, but must-see movies with black actors in 2025.
What's Lakeith Stanfield up to?
Lakeith. Still waiting on his call about Norrin Rad. I thought I was playing him. My bad.
That's funny. Is Elio no good? What is Elio even about?
Fam, I have no clue what beef they have with Elio. It's about a kid who gets abducted and taken into space. How they can turn that into woke whatever, maybe the kid is just too brown. Maybe that's the problem. But I swear to God, in the preview that I seen, it was literally about the kid getting abducted by aliens. That should be the most easily marketable shit to kids. He's walking around, la-di-da-di-da. Oh, I got sucked up in a spaceship. I'm going on a space adventure. Is that not the most easy thing you could possibly market to children?
I think it'll do great on Disney Plus, but parents are not bringing their little white kids to humanize.
Is it really that? I've seen the controversy, but is it really that controversial to where, like Chill was about to say, that they're not bringing their white children to see?
I don't understand what else the beef could be over, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, they clearly didn't market this film because I found out about it a week ago because I was watching the linear Disney Plus channel. But like, why wouldn't you? I understand. No, I don't understand. They did this to Strange World, but they were taking money off of Strange World to put on Wakanda Forever. What are we taking money away from right now? Like, Thunderbolt's ass, and it already made its money, right? You've spent what you was going to spend on Fantastic Four. You had to take money from Pixar to get that.
Well, its runtime is an hour 39, but I have not seen anything positive about it.
It only grossed $43 million so far. The opening weekend was only $20 million. That's kind of bad for Pixar. But maybe they'll do what Elemental did, and Elemental like fought back. If I check that Elemental, you'll see that thing.
Did you like Elemental?
Yeah, I liked it. Domestically opened with 29 million, and they finished with a worldwide of almost 500. So like they did come back, and they did fine. I don't know what the budget was, but I think it did fine. Elemental.
I just don't get what the point is of putting all these resources into these animated projects, especially at Pixar, because it's a very particular type of digital animation that they're using. So you're basically just doing special effects for the entire movie. Why exhaust that much resources and time into it and then tell nobody about it? Wait until a month before the shit hits theaters and be like, oh, by the way, make sure you go see Luca. Make sure you go see Strange World. Make sure you go see Elio. Make sure you go see Turning Red, which I saw for the very first time, again, on Disney Channel. I for the life of me, I do not understand why that film didn't make any money.
Turning Red was great.
I don't get it. I do not understand.
I don't think it went to the movies. Turning Red was a streaming exclusive. It was during that era.
Oh,
it was a streaming exclusive, but people were the thing that Turning Red that turned parents off, and it's so stupid, it's so dumb. It's just the conversation she's having with her daughter when she when she first turned into the panda, when they're having the conversation through the bathroom. She thinks she's like, what'd she say? Did your red flower or something, whatever she said. And we were like, oh, we're talking about periods and Disney. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, so wait. Never mind. I was about to say, so your daughter's just never gonna have a.
That was my argument. And I was just like, hey, I'm not a parent though, so let me shut up.
I thought maybe the Asian community got a little bit upset because of the depiction of the family dynamics, but I didn't feel like it was anything that wasn't relatable from an American or a Westernized family. Right?
I enjoyed
expectations
it.
And
I watched it more than once streaming. I thought it was pretty
good. It was fine. I don't get it why they pick and choose what's going to get marketed. Honestly, if they are actively siphoning cash away from their smaller studios to boost up marketing efforts for for Marvel and Lucasfilm, they not as rich as y'all think they are. The bankroll is not as deep as y'all think it are. Y'all think they over here spreading out, got the whole money spread up their bicep, and really they got flies and lint in their pocket. They working on IOUs. If that's the case, because why else would you do that? Why would the success of Fantastic Four have to cost me the success of Elio? Why would the success of Wakanda Forever have to cost me the success of Strange World? We have multifaceted studios so we can make money at the same time. That's the whole point of acquiring all these studios. So why would we be siphoning from one to pay for the other? Rob and Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. What Andrew said is true. Zootopia 2 does come out. That'll likely
and it's surviving off of brand recognition right now, because how many Zootopia previews have you seen?
Outside of that very strange dance montage one, none. They haven't really released a official trailer.
Yeah. And that's a sequel.
Released like character profiles. Like we know the new mayor is I'm assuming the new mayor is supposed to be based off of Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's like this big buff horse, and he's a former actor turned mayor.
Got you.
So we've gotten like character profiles of some of the new people.
Damn, so they didn't align his job back after they found out he got framed by the sheep.
That's what I thought. That same shit was like, damn, bruh, they just said, hey.
Fuck that. He was like, I didn't do this. It wasn't me. The whole time it's the sheep. It just left him in jail.
Yeah, no, he's gone. Yeah, Toy Story 5 does come this year, like Johnny said, but they better come better than they came with Spooky or Spokey or Forky. Who was it?
Forky pissed me off. You don't have to find new.
Okay.
You don't have to find new characters to introduce into these shits every single time, man. The originals will do.
Yeah.
Promise you they'll do.
Yeah.
Forky. How are you? What is the Toy Story 5 going to be about? Woody is at the campgrounds with Bo Peep living in the dirt. Buzz and everybody else still kicking it with the little girl, and she got to be getting pretty close to being grown by now. Bonnie, like
Time doesn't have to move. She can stay 10.
But how long do you play with those type of toys, man? She's not going to be. She got a tablet now. She probably got a TV in her room. She ain't playing with the damn toys.
That could be a great story. The new toys, the new technology.
Already did that.
So the villain is supposed to be an iPad.
Oh,
the villain is supposed to be an iPad. There's supposed to be an army of, but this is things that they showed. Now, this is not leaks. These are things they showed at that last con or whatever. There's supposed to be an army of Buzz Lightyears. I think Jessie is going to be more so the center focus of the film. But I know the villain is an iPad.
And villain is an iPad. So this is the one where they lose, right? Because how do you lose?
Really, 3 was perfect. It should have ended with 3. 3 was perfect the way that ended.
Lazo, right? The daycare.
Yes, with the bear and the daycare. That's probably one of my favorite ones. That's my favorite one anyway.
When Andy drops off the box to Bonnie, he goes off to college. Yes, that's the end of Toy Story.
That should have ended.
Leave it. Yeah, it would have been perfect trilogy. They had to find a fucking sport and make him a character.
Sometimes you can have a great ending and you can continue.
No, because there's no way Bo Peep
it's not an ending.
There's no way Bo Peep can even be in this. Like, she's on a traveling carnival. So, like, what is she? The carnival just happens to be in town.
Yes.
The weekend, the iPad decides to go evil.
Yeah.
Like, no. And Sporky's there and everybody else. No, I don't know. But I know there's an army of Buzzes, and I feel like we did that though. Did we not do that in the second one? Was there not an army of Buzzes on the toy aisle?
There was another Buzz that Lazo was using. I'm
talking about the second one though.
The second one had
did that.
Yeah,
we did multiple Buzzes in the second one, didn't we?
Second or the first? It might have been the first.
No, where was the army of Buzzes coming from?
They went to the toy barn.
What happened?
Remember in the second one they went to the toy barn and got that tour by Barbie. And he got put in the real Buzz, if I'm remembering correctly, got put in the packaging, and the other Buzz that came out of
ready to get sold. With Woody. Woody was at that guy's house trying to find Buzz.
Yeah. Gotcha. So we've seen multiple Buzzes before.
Michael Nemo wants me to show that Spider-Man is getting an extended 4K cut to Spider-Man 2.
Ooh, I'm there. September 27th. Sounds like a Fathom event to me.
It's supposed to be scenes that have never been seen by the public before.
Oh, put that shit in my veins. I don't care.
That's what I'm like. I was like, what could this possibly be that we, what could be added to Spider-Man 2?
Come on, Pascal. Give us Spider-Man 4. The real Spider-Man 4. Come on. Do it. Do it.
Are we in agreement? Is the chat in agreement and everybody in agreement that Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man film?
Spider-Man 2 was
Doc Ock, Sam Raimi.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure. Did you guys talk about the clip that was shared from Jimmy of Superman Soups, Kal-El, and Lex, and them?
Man, let me tell you something.
The dog.
Roid Rage Clark, not for me.
You didn't like it?
Not for me. Where's my dog? Where's my dog?
I didn't mind it. I liked it.
Fam, why? He's too human. Okay, if it was just one of these things, I could brush it off my shoulders and keep going. The roid rage, the burning of the eyes as he's using heat vision, the fact that he's pulling himself out of ditches and Doomsday ain't here, right? That's the only reason why you should be pulling yourself out of the goddamn rubble. Doomsday or Shazam, and Shazam is never showing back up. what else is just intrinsically human? He can't be challenged. His viewpoint can't be challenged because he's so virtuous, even by his own significant other. Like this, he's too much like me. He's too much like a person walking down the street. He's not a human being. His ultra virtue is what makes him Superman. The fact that he does no wrong and is a hyper goody and can live by those standards makes him otherworldly. If you make him into any other schmuck, then you have to treat him like any other schmuck.
Well, you take yourself back, what, 3 days ago? You saw what James said, because he's still on his talkathon. So he's going to continue to just go and go and go and go and go and go and go. And I'm going to tell you what, my excitement for Superman has waned, not because of the clips, not because of things, simply because of James. Because he won't shut the fuck up. This is what this one of the latest things he said. Richard Donner's films and Zack Snyder's films also suggest personal stories for Superman, but here is the main story. What is Superman's relationship with himself? I think not setting the film on Earth was very good for that. It's an alternate Earth where there is a city called Metropolis. It's not a film that asks what would it be like if Superman exists in our world, which is a good question. But here's the question of, the question of what would it be like if he were real is the human sense, or is in the human sense. So what but this is the thing, James, again, it's not the clips, it's you just made me less excited because I don't care about a human Superman. I don't care about Superman's humanity. That's not what I'm going to watch in Superman. He's not human.
Of course, Metropolis is a fictional place. It always has been. That's in no way different from Snyder or Dahmer. Like at all. Like Metropolis was always a fictional place. The difference is that they treated Superman like this larger than life figure that has no equal on the planet. And that conflict is what he has to deal with for the rest of his life. The fact that he may outlive every living being he makes a human connection with is the thing. The existential dread of being the most powerful being on the planet. That is what is compelling about Superman. Not, hey, where's this guy go get a beer after work? What kind of TV shows does he like? What makes him angry? How does he argue? When you take his dog, will he throw your desk across the hall? Like, I don't give a shit about none of that. Hopefully, where's Crypto? Hopefully out of the movie by then. Hopefully gone from the plot.
And I see what Raymond said there about he can have emotions. Yes, I agree. We've seen Superman have emotions. We've seen Superman be angry. But the difference here is it's just like when you are highlighting that on like and I'm not saying in that clip because I personally like the clip. I'm talking about when you're doing interviews and you are talking more about Superman's humanity, and not only in Superman's humanity, he also did another in the same interview. It's just not in this quote. He also said that his Superman is not like any other Superman. His Superman is less powerful than any other Superman. James, stop talking. Stop. Stop. That's not what I want to hear before I go into the movie. My Superman is less powerful than any other iteration of Superman. James, what are you doing? Why are you telling people that? Like, and the thing is, I didn't see that quote for myself. A casual fan that's a friend of mine sent that to me and said, why would he say this? And I'm like, I don't know.
Raymond, I get you. If Man of Steel wasn't your jam, I could understand why you would want to shy away from that. That is the basis of the character, though. Like, maybe not as Clark Kent. Maybe as Clark, I can take some of these emotional slips, these outbursts, the very vulnerable nature that he seems to be emotionally and physically as Clark. Because that's still his human cover. It's supposed to be human by nature. Superman isn't supposed to display any of this. Superman needs to hold the veneer of untouchable because to present any other way makes him vulnerable. It makes everybody else around him vulnerable. He can't afford to be human. If every villain from Metropolis to Gotham said, one thing we got to do is kidnap his fucking dog, what are we doing? And that doesn't give me confidence about some of the main conflicts in the movie. If this is what you're saying so often and this is what you're willing to show us, it feels like we're in for teenage bad attitude Superman raging out about stupid shit, and at the end of it, nothing really changes. Like I don't feel like there is real stakes to whatever it is they got going on right now. Now I know a little bit more than the common viewer, so I know what they're going to attempt to do with the, or at least I think I know what they're going to attempt to do with the plot. I don't think this is going to go well. I don't think a pivot away from hyper emotional, not really in full control of himself, Superman, to what they're going to try to introduce in this film is a smooth transition. It's almost like a justification. It's almost like a justification.
Think you're overreacting, guys?
I could be, but we have a show.
I'm not, like I said, for me, I liked the clip. Let me just preference what I said again. Every clip, from the Fortress of Solitude, getting, the robots helping him, Crypto taking him, the first trailer, the second trailer, the final trailer, the clips that have shown. I've liked the stuff. I've had my little nitpicks, like the punching the soldier or the guy and the teeth bouncing off. I didn't like that shit, but I've liked other things. I'm still wanting to see this movie. I'm still excited for this movie. It's not David. It's not Nicholas. It's not the clips I've seen. It's not people making fun of the CGI of this or that. It's none of that. It's fucking James for me. It's none of that. It's James for me. So I'm still excited for this film. I still want to see this movie. It is just simply, I don't think I'm overreacting either when I say that, yes, we've seen Superman be emotional and things like that and blah, blah, blah. So I'm in it. And like Lauren said, people are saying that it's being compared to the cartoon. I like the cartoon. I've watched the cartoon when I was a kid. I've rewatched it on HBO Max and things like that. So if that's what we're doing, cool. I'm waiting to see the film. The next thing here, he invited people to come see the film again, but he handpicked these people. These weren't press people. This wasn't like this. These were people that he handpicked to come see the film. And from what we've seen so far, a lot of people have liked it. A lot of people have liked it. Do I still think, from what they are saying in the box office, the box office numbers have come out and it's projected last place in July, where we all thought,
oh, surprise. But I thought they had the most first day ticket sales of any film in 2025.
I think after the Fantastic Four's most recent trailer, I'm still excited to see this. I still do believe that this is going to come in. It's going to come in last, and that is what that's being projected in the box office numbers as well. Superman is going to come in last. Jurassic Park is supposed to come in second. Fantastic Four is supposed to come in first. And again, based off that last trailer from F4.
Now, I will say this is been the most pleasant Fantastic Four trailer I've seen.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It's been the most pleasant. I think their problem is still going to be story, but people actually have to go into the theater to figure that out. So they may have better week one numbers than Superman and Jurassic Park. You just have to see the film, I guess, to see if it's going to have legs.
I'll tell you, I was never interested. I haven't, even in all the trailers they've shown for Silver Surfer, wasn't interested. The dialogue of what she said, I like the dialogue, and I thought she looked brilliant CGI wise in the close up they did of her in that trailer. So, and I like we haven't seen Galactus, haven't heard him talk, haven't seen him outside of like his foot, boots. So I'm good. I'm ready to see that one too.
They finally gave us a trailer that added the dread, that told us why we need to see this movie. Like, finally. I don't know why this wasn't the first trailer, because they didn't give us any more than what they've given us in the other one in terms of information or dialogue. But they showed us visually on the screen what the dread is. Like, why did it take us so long to get there? So yeah, I do think that as we head into July, Fantastic Four is touting the most momentum. It's legs, man. They got to fight through an average 65 to 70% drop on superhero movies the week after. They're not popular. They're not historically popular. Their studio's not popular. People are tuned out on even good superhero content right now. So it is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, but I could see them doing better than Superman.
I'm not worried about Superman. You guys are going to be surprised with this next 2 weeks, this next push. All of the interviews and the appearances, the television presence, advertising is going to be nuts. I'm not worried. Marcus does not like soups. Haha.
I've told y'all I'm a Superman hater. I have already qualified every statement I've made on Superman.
I thought the soups was like Soups, the content creator, Matt Ramos, this guy. And I was going to play what he had to say.
Oh,
I'll still play it because it's like worth hearing him say.
Do you think?
Is it? I mean, what did he really say?
This motherfucker said I'm alive. Okay.
It's the morning after, and guys, I've seen Superman. I want to be very careful with this video because I'm not allowed to talk about the film. Last night when I got home, I recorded an out of theater reaction, and I have so much to say, but I can't say it until July 7th. The night of July 7th is when this embargo ends.
Real fast.
Everyone who has seen the
it is a telltale sign that if a film or a studio is more than likely confident about the early production on their films, they lift the embargo early, not late. They're not lifting the embargo until the 7th. When does Superman come out?
The 11th.
The 11th. 4 days before the damn movie comes out.
Now, mind
everybody
you,
keep that in mind.
And now to add to that, mind you, the video we are watching, Soups and others, were invited, handpicked
personally.
Personally. This isn't like we opened it up to the press. No. It was still closed to the press. I know Soups has done fucking press pictures with James, David, and Rachel. So that's why I said, is it really worth listening to? We knew he was going to come out and say, guys, I loved it. I'm crying.
Yeah.
It was so great.
He started it off by saying, I'm alive.
Yeah, come on. I like Soups. I do. I like Soups.
But see, Superman is his guy. Superman is his guy. So as much as I don't really take his word for it, I guess I understand it. If I got a private screener of Logan before it ever came out, before anybody ever saw it, you better believe I'm coming out trying to sneakily tell everybody, hey, yo, look, this is the greatest Wolverine movie of all time. Like it's flat out probably one of the best X-Men movies if you consider it an X-Men movie. It's fantastic. So I can't blame him.
You like Wolverine? Is that related to the football team you like?
No, man, I'm a Wolverine fan.
But is it because of the team, or did the team being named Wolverine?
No. The Michigan Wolverines are like an actual animal, like a Wolverine. That's a real creature.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like it's an animal.
Back to something you said, Chill.
One of my favorite comic book characters.
You said you think that Superman is going to. You still think Superman's going to outdo Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I said whatever Fantastic Four makes, Superman makes 300 million more.
I did think that at one point.
300 million more?
I don't think that anymore.
Because Fantastic Four is doing good, it's performing well.
I think F4 is going to spank their booties. But I will say this: looking at my tickets, Superman is still got way more of a presence in the theater than the Fantastic Four does.
See, at the showing I'm going to. Started selling their tickets earlier as well, but
no, Fantastic Four started selling theirs first.
Oh, we did see that, didn't we? We saw that.
He still got the claw. We did see that.
What was I about to say? Fantastic Four, they're last as well. So
yeah, there's no one in this theater.
Yeah, take that into consideration when we start putting the projections together, because they're also they have the field to themselves. While Jurassic Park has to, worry about its later weeks with Superman coming in, and then Superman has to worry about the same thing with Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four has no such worries. They go last, and there's really nothing major behind them either. So that could be some of the boost. But I still say with those two movies in particular, the opening's not going to tell the story. They're going to want you to pay attention to the opening weekends. Very much so. Both studios are. These movies are going to be as successful as they leg out to be. right? Like the third and fourth and fifth week of those movies is going to determine how successful they are. We will see. But I don't think the opening weeks is going to tell the whole story of how these films are going to go.
I don't feel it goes the way you think. Like the multiplexes with 15 screens, they're not pulling a July 11 movie out or even a July 2nd Jurassic World movie out because Fantastic Four needs their time to shine. Like there's enough time to screen a movie like that for a
That's
long.
not the issue. That's not. It's not an issue of having the theaters to put them in. It's what are people going to see? You know, people go to the movies to see one movie. Now they might come back and see the other movie, but while they're there, you can only see one movie at a time. So
if it's July,
what are people going to see?
So then if it's July the 25th, I'm going to the movie theater. What's available? I can either watch Fantastic Four, it came out today. I can watch Superman or Jurassic World. You
Jurassic
see,
World.
that's 3 options. So it actually makes it harder for Fantastic Four to compete with those, 3 movies.
What are the chances that the majority of the viewing public that is going to see Jurassic Park has already seen it by the time we get to Jurassic Park?
No, there's a regular
Fantastic Four.
There's a regular movie audience who comes to the movies frequently enough, like every week.
Yep.
But since Jurassic World is only going to be 4 weeks earlier, I don't think
that'll be towards the back half of its run by that time. I don't expect it to be beating Fantastic Four at that moment. I'm just saying Fantastic Four has the more advantageous lineup because when they actually need it in the later weeks, there's not going to be anything new coming out. They will be taking Jurassic Park out of theaters by then. Superman will be on its way out, maybe not completely out of the theaters, but moving to the back of
by
the
when?
list.
So Jurassic World will be out of theaters by when?
By week 3 or 4 of Fantastic Four, it will definitely be out of the theaters by then.
No, that's not how it works. So it'll
When
be in 4,000 screens.
It'll be a 45-day weekend. It's a 45-day window, right?
Nah. So it'll start off with going to 4,000 screens, and then probably by week 2 they'll reduce it by a couple hundred. Some cinemas aren't going to show it anymore, but by week 4 it's still going to be in 3,000 screens. Like that's how Minecraft worked.
If it's making money, yeah. But then we're talking about Fantastic Four having to compete with it at that point. If it's going to hit $1 billion, week 4 it's definitely still in 3,000 films. If it's not, the studio's not going to continue to place it in auditoriums that aren't selling. So it depends on how well it legs out. I think more likely than not, though, it's more likely to compete with Superman than it is Fantastic Four, since there is that wide of a gap in between those two movies coming out.
Well, yeah, sure. The closer gap helps.
Here's my top 3.
Should we do supers?
Sure.
Michael Nemo, $5. Marcus, I think you're thinking about Earth 2 Superman. Earth 1 Superman after Crisis was very depowered.
Hey fam, you talking to me about stuff I don't care about. I'm not
about the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I'm not a Superman fan. But I will take your word for it, Michael Nemo. Maybe I'm talking about the wrong version of Supes. It's just the way that I see him is that if you're going to make a character that's essentially perfect, you're going to give him every power, and his only weakness is not having a sun or some random space rock that's rarer than any other mineral in the universe. Okay, so then yes, he's God. That's what you've made. You've made a God on Earth. So tell that story. Don't try to make the character that you work so hard to put above everybody else come down here with us. Just write him the way that he was meant to be written. It's clear. Heat vision, super speed, super strength, can fly, super hearing, X-ray vision, impervious to all type of projectiles. Literally, you have to bury this man in a hole and keep him weak enough not to break out until the next solstice for him to be even slightly depowered. So like, we can't have it both ways. He can't be ultra vulnerable and impenetrable in every other way. You can't have them both.
Zack Attack Reviews YouTuber says, don't forget Smurfs musical, and I know what you did last summer in between all that. No, I'll forget it. I'll gladly forget these non-blockbuster films.
Don't forget Smurfs musical.
That's
Yeah,
going to be in July, I guess. But like, well, you know what? F1 could be one of those movies that so much people talk about that when that person who only goes once a month to a movie theater, they don't care about seeing dinosaurs and superheroes. They care about everyone's talking about Brad Pitt. I know Brad
the
Pitt.
adult without kids for sure. It's
Yeah,
definitely
soccer mom might come and see Brad Pitt. Johnny says Universal have the shortest theatrical window, 30 days. Well, July 2nd is still within 30 days.
Now again, they will go beyond that if the film's doing well. Chillmonger's right. Like it won't be a straight up, all right, 4 weeks and you're done. Regardless, that's not going to happen. If it's making money, if it feels like it's tracking to make what Dominion or any of the other Jurassic Worlds made, they're leaving it in the theaters. They'll purchase the sites.
Oh, it's gonna do that, I think. Well, actually, yeah. I mean, not to, I don't know, man. That's a weird one that I'm scratching my head on because it being in second place is still scratching my head on
They're
it.
also they're not doing all of the marketing hoopla. Like they're just not. I saw Scarlett Johansson doing ASMR trying to promote the film, you know, showing the kids the toys. Like that's the type of marketing they're putting into Jurassic Park right now. They're not spending millions upon millions of dollars marketing this film. I don't think they have to.
Did you
I
see
think
her?
their reputation is already up there that they expect their audience to show back up. Maybe that's hubris, but I think that's what they think.
She kissed a guy on the lips that wasn't her husband. That's part of the marketing for sure. She needed to do that in front of cameras.
Who are we talking about?
Scarlett.
She needed to kiss a guy who wasn't her husband?
Yeah, she kissed the dude and then she like in the lips, and then she's talking about how, well, he's gay, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I saw Christian Harloff's review for it, and I have to agree with him on one thing there that he said, and I hated the last two Jurassic World films. I love Dr. Grant, and I thought bringing all them back was going to be really dope, but what a waste. Terrible film. I also didn't like the second one to the first one with Pratt, where they cloned the little girl, and I hated that shit too.
That was all in the last movie. Wasn't that all the same movie?
No, it just all tied together, so it made it seem like it was all in the same movie. And then the locusts were the big bad things in the last one, so it was just all like it. They tried to make it allude to like they were going towards some type of Planet of the Apes deal with the dinosaurs and all that kind of. And I'm glad that route's not it, because talking dinosaurs, I would have been checked out. I wouldn't have watched that. So, but
Land Before Time.
yeah, like no live action. No, I'm good on that. So this one, he said it's more like the same. You know, of course, there's the kids and the family that's always put in the middle of the danger. Yeah, he said it reminds him a lot of the third one.
Okay.
Jurassic is as close to the ScarJo later in life Lara Croft casting as I can hope for. Yeah, you're not going to get that one. I think Scarlett Johansson's pretty done with this major movies and the athleticisms and stuff. Now she's got.
I also don't want to hear Scarlett Johansson try a British accent. I'm okay with that. Actually, I don't want no parts of that.
I still think it's going to do numbers too, but I think it. I think it will. I think it's still going to be, you know, that's the fun, the action of the dinosaurs and things like that. You know, who's really going to a Jurassic Park movie for the plot?
What these predictions for July has taught me is how much the manufactured buzz from studios goes into those projections. That's what I've learned most about, because I've watched these numbers move so frequently, right? And nothing materially has changed about the projects. Like they didn't cast a new actor, nothing got delayed and reshot, or I guess Fantastic Four did. But it doesn't feel like anything materially changed to the public, right? And that's what really doesn't make sense. If you were predicting $170 million for Superman's opening weekend, and then it came back down to 125, okay, yes, 10 to 15 million worth of margin, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
$50 million off within a matter of weeks. Well, it just sounds like that last one was complete and utter horseshit. And so now, do I even trust this one that you're giving me? You know what I mean? Like, there's all of these campaigns and the early ticket sales snafu that they was going through with Superman to try to steal some of the Fantastic Four buzz, and the lack thereof of fanfare around some of the early pre-sales that Jurassic Park is doing. It's hard to wade through sometimes. There's so much bullshit going on. It's hard to get a good read on what's actually going on.
Cappy said it's not a lot of dinosaurs in the film.
Okay.
50
Does
million.
that mean an amount of quantity, or like we don't see dinosaurs for a majority of the film?
Probably we don't see them for a majority of the film.
No, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that at all.
Somebody see, this is the things that make to go, not to go back to this conversation, but make me wonder and question about Superman's just overall legs. Somebody shared the video of the clip and said, so are we supposed to think Superman walked into the building, took the elevator up to Luthor's office, and politely asked to see Lex before he bashed the door open?
Hey, listen.
Oh, that's funny.
First of all, that's what y'all's weirdo alien favorite superhero. That's the type of stuff he does. It's absolutely what he does. He sits there at the front desk and he asks politely. And when he realizes that he's not getting nowhere, that's when he kicks the door in. What he's not doing is yelling like Andrew Tate the minute he gets through the door. Where's the dog? Show me Crypto now.
I don't know. Maybe if it's something that he really cares about, like crypto, it's crypto. He cares about crypto.
I'm also not ignoring the fact that the dog seems to be a very key piece of this movie. Like it's Superman Groot. Crypto is Superman Groot. I don't know why he needs these type of comedic relief crutches, considering that he.
You guys hear that background noise? Shit. Sorry.
No, considering that he bleeds it into his dialogue all the time. Like, what they're saying in normal conversation is going to be funny enough. We don't need another comedy trope interjected into the main plot of the film. But that surely seems like that's where we're going. It's going to get a whole lot of crypto.
I'm so sick of these. Like even the one they did for Ironheart. I know y'all talked about it already, I believe. But this thing here, Captain America: Brave New World, was reportedly the most watched movie between May 26th and June 1st. Yeah, because no one's watching shit else on Disney Plus.
It's not that, Darius. It's the same conversation I was having with Chill before. I seen an interview with Ryan Coogler. He was on a podcast talking about Wakanda Forever. He was like, yeah, my film Wakanda Forever is one of the most streamed movies on Disney Plus. And I'm like, okay, buddy. See, like I don't like doing this. I don't like running your nose through the mud when we're not talking Black Panther, because it ain't necessary. But if you're gonna big up yourself for the streaming numbers on Disney Plus, at least acknowledge that you lost a third of your audience in the film, like on a silver screen. So maybe that third that didn't come and spend their money with you in the movie just waited until streaming.
I could play that clip here.
My film Wakanda Forever is the most consistent, most streamed, most watched thing that I've ever done. But because that movie is about a lot of Black women, you know what I'm saying? If you check the narrative online, you would think it was the opposite. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere somebody's watching that movie and they're not jumping on the internet about it. You know what I mean? They watching it with their family, they enjoying it. You know what I mean? They going back and they watching it again. My film Wakanda.
I'm not mad at him for trying to, hey, look, Black women led films are just as popular as they need to be. I'm not mad at that. Film, dog, they did. Wakanda Forever is not the piece to use. You could have used Black Panther 1 for that. Black Panther 1 made $1.3 billion. It was Black women all up and through there. Black women all up and through there. You went to Wakanda Forever?
Well, you got to probably see the question and everything.
Yeah, maybe we're
just
missing
empty because telling me that Wakanda Forever was streamed a lot ignores that Black Panther came out in 2018 before Disney Plus existed. It was on Netflix. Many people streamed it there. You don't have the access to the Netflix numbers. I'm sure now as a producer, and I'm sure now you are allowed to know how much Wakanda Forever has been streaming. And yes, of course, it was streamed more than Fruitvale or Creed. It's been years. Yes, it is. It's really a nothing statement to say. Sinners isn't streaming yet until it reaches on July 4th on HBO Max. So that, to me, it was just like, all right, guys. So like it brings it back to like that ranking. Telling me something is number one isn't the same as telling me how much it's being watched or how many tickets were purchased. Just saying, oh, it's the number one thing ever, the movie ever that I've done. So what? But the narrative online, yeah, go ahead, Darius.
Well, I was just saying, I was laughing because he said people watch it with their families and they go in the back again and watching it again and again. No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, it's a feel-good movie, Darius. What are you talking about? It makes you closer with your sister and your bastard son.
That's funny.
Her children are bastards.
One more super chat.
New style with the fresh type of flow. Miss Icicle, I dig bicycle. Come true, yeah.
Ryan Fisher with the $2 super. Ironheart is just as bad as expected. Shaking my head. Trash. Whoa. Aggressive there, Brian. All right. I watched an episode. I'll get to the second and third.
Yeah, I don't think it's trash. Is it going to be groundbreaking? I don't think so. Is it going to have implications that spread out to the MCU?
No. What? No.
But wait now. It has a chance.
They had a reshoot?
It has a chance. No, outside of the reshoots. And I'm not talking about Mephisto. I'm saying that they have a chance to introduce a real character here that's going to matter, that we care about. And if they do it, then good on them. Good on everybody involved. But if they don't, then I think it's going to be relegated to how people are talking about it now.
And they haven't done it in the first 3 episodes, so they've got 2 more hours left of Ironheart
to do it. Just there is a not Ironheart. There's an obvious out of place element to Riri's story in Ironheart right now. There's a rumored appearance by a character who would have an interest in that we haven't seen before.
I wonder who he means, even though I know exactly who he means.
Yeah, there would be an interested party into the comings and goings of Riri's friendships at the moment.
Thank you to Dre Mac for being a YouTube member. Thank you to Kingsport for being a YouTube member also, and all my YouTube members who are in the building right now. Every channel membership Back of the Bus also offers that too for $1 for like the mini.
I was just getting ready to ask, how'd you know it was for you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's true.
Yeah, I was getting ready. Like, who did they channel membership to?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
That's interesting.
If
you already know who y'all signed up for.
If he was, you're right. Yeah, whoever you subscribed to and membered up to, thank you. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Appreciate the money. Appreciate the support. All that good stuff. Yeah, that was ignorant of me. I just assumed like he could have been a member for years already.
No, I mean, it very well might be to your channel, but I was just thinking.
Did I think it was too bad? Ironheart is a 6 out of 10 so far. You know what? And you guys are giving your ratings. No matter what, if you're saying I must watch because Riri Williams is a black female character, it is Marvel, and they put over 100 million. If that's your case that you're making, you're totally right. Go ahead. Go give it your watch time. You should.
I haven't watched it yet. Haven't had the time.
Okay.
And that's real. It's not like a diss on it. I just have not had the time to watch it.
Someone guessed, is it Blue Marvel? Also, I was Pookie long before Obama made the name a bad thing.
Shout out to Pookie Wood.
Okay, I forgot about Blue Marvel, but do we even meet his parents?
It may not be Blue Marvel. That's not the out of place factor for Riri.
What, Blue Marvel showing up in Ironheart?
I don't think that's what we're. Not the one. That's not the one. Although I would love to see it. I would definitely love to see it.
You're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. He used to be Stunning Steve on the Hollywood Blondes with Brian Pillman, and they used to do this and they were a tag team. Yeah, got it. Don't try to rope me in with your age. Like you had me, Ringmaster. You know what I mean? he had the $1 Million Man. That was his manager. You could get me on that era, but don't try to bring me into WCW, Rookie of the Year, Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh, Michael Nemo. Put a brother there. The brother there. So yeah, that's the news.
Some people say Dr. Voodoo because, you know, you don't want to discount his doctorate. He's a doctor. And I think it's more so like you're just mixing Doctor Strange with him.
Right.
So,
that's what I felt like. Brother Voodoo. But yeah. No, if they do that, then that means that they cared enough to introduce a character who's going to play into what they're claiming is going to be their next offshoot phase, which is the mystical part of Marvel. Right?
Let me ask this because I haven't watched the show. For those of you that haven't watched it, Ryan Coogler claims that this leads directly into Doomsday. Are there hints of Doomsday there?
Not in the episode I just seen, but I mean,
Coogler is lying to you. This thing was filmed before Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Doomsday.
That's what he said.
Oh, I don't think he said that. No, I think you might be. No, wait. What did he actually say? He really said those words, or he said magic and technology is what Doom does too.
Let me see. Hold on.
He didn't actually say that.
Let me see.
Coogler is a fat phase online. No,
I think how it possibly could lead into Doomsday.
Coogler wouldn't say something like that because why would he lie with something that could be found out next week? He would never say that.
Riri don't even know no other Avengers.
Ironheart producer Ryan Coogler teases the Marvel show is a great sample of things. Well, it's a great sample of things to come in Avengers Doomsday, which he describes as the biggest movie in Marvel history.
It teased, and he said that it's a sample. So it's a sample. She's got the magic and the magic.
See the exact quote.
The magic and the iron suits and all the technology stuff. It's a sample. Yes, we're gonna get more of that with Doom.
It's so crazy to be putting this movie out now at the time where AI is on the front of everybody's mind. Technology ethics are at the front of everybody's mind, but also we didn't know it was going to be Dr. Doom in Avengers when we first started. But he's a guy in publishing who's most famous for fusing technology and magic. So it's a great sample of things to come and probably what's going to be the biggest movie in Marvel history.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing the natural link between Riri and Doom because I don't understand what the magical link is with Riri and her technology. I don't, for the life of me, I don't know why the Hood is in the show.
Because they read Infamous Iron Man and he was in that.
I don't know. I feel like you have a whole Young Avengers thing that you're trying to do. Down the line, maybe it would be a good idea to introduce some conflict or some antagonists for that younger group. I don't think the Hood's going to live past this series. I don't think that the Hood's handler is going to be a constant part of Riri's story either. So for the life of me, don't understand why that whole angle is so prominent in this show right now. But
has Sacha Baron Cohen shown up yet?
No, not in the first.
It's actively going to hurt my feelings if that's Mephisto. Like it's legit. It's going to fuck me up.
So they've shown the Hood's handler so far, and it's not Sacha Baron Cohen.
Did I freeze?
No, that my dog over here hacking up hair.
Oh, and I was looking for the Ryan Coogler video, so I thought I could go silent and find it.
I've also only seen one episode, so I don't know who showed up for him yet.
This is the interview where that happens, and it's not being shared. Uno momento. He answers, and he's like, "I plead the fifth if I'm going to use someone in Sinners from Sinners."
Oh yeah.
To Cornelius telling me stop asking questions to go watch it. I'll watch it. One, when I have the time to watch it. Two, I'm asking questions that are going to pique my interest enough to even find the time to watch it. Reminder, I didn't finish Daredevil.
Here.
Other adventures in the MCU, and same for Parker and same for Zoma. So I'm hoping that, and Zeke, I'm hoping there's much more because I'm a true Marvel fan.
Yeah, Ryan, I want to say, I know you can't say much, but I would love to know if there are any actors that you cast in Sinners that you've got in mind for some roles in Black Panther 3.
Dang, I really want to know the answer.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, I love you for asking that, bro. But I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You know, I love you for pleading the fifth, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, for
thank
sure,
you guys
bro.
so much for your time. I really, like I said, I watched the whole series.
Somebody mumbled under their breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know which writer or director that was, but that was good. Darius has been telling us for ages Jamie Lawson is going to be the Storm, and I think she will be.
You think Jamie Lawson's going to be Storm? Jamie Lawson's not going to be Storm. I can tell you what I was told. I do have T'Challa news, but I was really trying to save that for a video that I'm putting together. Because we did speak after the Damson deal. I messaged because I was curious. I was like, what do you have to add, if anything, to the Damson stuff? And there were some things that were said. But what I will say here on this stream is about the Storm stuff. What I'm being told about Storm is that they have, and this is just, again, grain of salt, this is what I'm being told, they have, Disney wants Cynthia, Marvel wants Jodie.
No, I don't want either one of them.
Marvel wants Jodie, Disney wants Cynthia. From what else is
who at Marvel?
Can I look at this?
Wants Jodie. Is it Schreier?
There were no names mentioned of exactly who is wanting
the casting director.
When he says Marvel, I my mind goes to like Feige and them. I don't know.
8 more.
Man, if they cast Cynthia Erivo as Storm, pack this whole shit up, all of it, every last bit of it. Pack it up. Pack it up. We're done. We are done ski. It's over.
Dunsky.
I really can't tell this without telling the T'Challa stuff, and I didn't want to do that in this type of.
I'll just keep talking about how terrible their picks are. Before you get it up here, Cynthia Erivo, right? Number one, physically cannot be Storm. Absolutely cannot be Storm. If you're gonna have a visibly or a that matches the character Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, if you're going to have characters that fit their actual builds, it's going to be the stupidest thing in the world to watch Cynthia Erivo stand next to these people and call her Aurora Monroe. Just foolishness. I don't know what it is that makes them think that 5'5" lady that green face is a witch looks like anything like her in any shape, any way imaginable. Absolutely not. 110% no. Fuck no. Jodie Turner matches physically. She matches physically, I guess. I'm just not the biggest fan of Jodie Turner these days.
But that Jamie, there's a reason why Ryan Coogler can't say, because he wants to get his way.
Give me some of that Perline, man.
Again, without saying anything about the T'Challa stuff, this is what he said here.
Ooh, we got a scoop exclusive.
Okay, I'll start it here. Continue to advocate for Jodie because I'll be honest, Jamie is not in the conversation because Disney wants Cynthia Erivo. I'm not saying that part.
Say that part.
No, because it's about T'Challa.
Does he know about Trending Day on July 1st? Let your source know.
You will be
use the hashtag.
So yeah, basically what he is saying here about the Jodie and Cynthia thing is, and this is the only thing I'll say about T'Challa. From what I'm being told, and this is pretty long, it's a pretty long message. From what I've been told is if you want T'Challa recast to be Son of T'Chaka, and I'm going to do a video over this to further and better explain to break that down, what was sent to me. If you want it to be Son of T'Chaka, you push for what Marvel is wanting, and that's Jodie.
Okay.
Disney wants Cynthia, but Disney also wants the child. So
who's Disney and who is
That's
Disney?
what I
Bob
need to
Iger?
know. Like, yeah, Bob Iger wants the kid.
Oh,
I guess.
Oh, I
don't
think
know.
You going wrong?
But he did end it with
absolutely.
He did end it with obviously I am not in these rooms. I can only tell you what I am being told, but this is what is currently on the table.
Okay.
So Cynthia, I guess for whatever reason, if cast as Storm, and I brought this up the first time we talked about that, with the whole Wicked, with her presence in Wicked, even though it's not a Disney film, her presence in Wicked, and then you've got Wicked 2 that just had its trailer or whatever. She's a big name. It's that whole thing. Hey, it's another black face. She fits. She's popular. Blah blah blah. I really hope they don't go that Cynthia route. I do know the last thing. One of the other times we talked about me and he talked about Cynthia was that he said that Cynthia's team is pushing hard for her to get knocking on Marvel's door. She's publicly said she wants it. She, I guess, is advocating to her team that she really wants it, and her team is pushing toward her really getting it to Marvel. But again, Disney wants her as Storm. I don't know if that means that Disney wants the child aged up, and then you pair the child with Storm. I don't know what their plans are that, but he did again specify if you want Son of T'Chaka, push for Jodie. Oh, and also specified that that's what, because, and this is, again, I don't know who is who on this as far as like who's Marvel, who's Disney, who's pushing for what, because he said that Marvel is trying to give the fans that recast crowd their recast T'Challa, but that's why they're trying to get Jodie in here, because they want an older Storm with T'Challa, if he's supposed to be Chadwick passed at 40 years old, so T'Challa's obviously supposed to be older and all this kind of stuff, blah blah blah. Cynthia, I guess, more fits with Damson. I don't know. They want Damson as the kid too, by the way. That is also why I'm telling a little more than I wanted to tell, but they also want Damson as the kid. That's why you've got the whole yes no,
because he don't want that fucking kid spot.
Yeah.
Because he wants to be T'Challa, son. Well, let me not say that, because he may have wilted. He may have, given in. So I don't know. You're muted, Chill.
So what Damson is going to do if it's, I don't think he, like you said, I don't think he wants the kid role. So everything is still on the negotiating side. But also, he did say that they are paying attention. They're gauging what the fans want. So this kind of, when he said this, it brought me back to what I said last week about Josh. This is why it's important for streamers like Josh, who are curating over 1,000 views per stream. I love that Josh has been advocating since day one, just like John Campia has been advocating since day one. But the difference in the two is John doesn't settle for the kid. John is saying no to the kid regardless. John is not sitting up there saying to his over 1,000 viewers, hey, even if we get the kid and it's T'Challa and it's a male and they're not calling him to Tucson or to Junior or whatever, I would be okay with that. No, John has stood 10 toes down from the day one and still has said it's stupid to not have T'Challa. You should have T'Challa. There's nobody else in this franchise that can do this outside. Now he's given Nakia, which I disagree with all that shit, but it needs to be T'Challa is what he has said from the day one. Now you go over to the Den of Nerds channel. When Josh is talking about it, he says, yes, T'Challa, yes, recast T'Challa, but if it is the kid, I'm not going to tell you I'm upset with it if it's a male. The reason I bring this up is because I was told Marvel is paying attention to what the crowd, the people, not just the recast crowd, but what the overall audience, what the perception is. Are people okay with the kid? Do people want the Son of T'Chaka? But when you got people like Josh again saying, yeah, Son of T'Chaka, but I'm okay with the kid, that's sending mixed messages. And why is it sending mixed messages? Because what I'm told is that these people are money execs. They're just looking at, okay, that's what they want. Let's get them. That's money. Oh, that's what they're wanting. Let's get that in there. They're not looking at it, as I've said before, on the deeper level of recasting like we're looking at it. So if you want recast T'Challa June 1st, you really better push that shit.
On June 1st?
And again, let your friends, if you are friends with any streamers that get over 1,000 viewers, let them know, hey, stop saying that shit. Stop saying that dumbass shit. Because you wouldn't do it with any other character. If they came in here and said, oh, we're giving you Victor Von Doom's nephew, it's not Victor, but hey, he's going to wear the Victor Von Doom mask so you won't know it's his nephew.
It'll be Victor's nephew, Vane.
Yeah, shut the fuck up with that shit. Stop saying that. So if you want T'Challa, recast T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, no ifs and buts about it. You got to be obvious and plain with what you want.
Dom DeMarco, Marco.
No dollar. I was gonna share some of these Damson Idris's moments because I got to go in order. There was 3 or 4 of them where Damson Idris was on Sway in the morning, and I made sure to clip it, edit out all the ums and the ahs and all that good stuff. Here we go, Sway.
There's been a lot of talk about you potentially playing a multiverse variant of T'Challa.
All right, that's my time.
Okay, you gotta go.
I'm playing.
It's been an honor.
Never. You have all the time.
Well, if that was a possibility, what would stepping into that role mean to you?
I mean, it would mean everything, of course. You know, again, it's all about responsibility. But either way, whoever plays that part, if that part even happens, I'm gonna be, you know, in the theaters supporting it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's. I mean, I knew Chad, so I knew Chad well. He was an icon to us, you know. So just someone like Chad and what he represented, I think it is important that that essence carries on, you know. And I think that's what he would want as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
He called it that part. He referred to it as that essence continuing. He doesn't say T'Challa Sway did, but Damson Idris didn't. And I think there's something to understand, like what's not being said there. Then we jump over to what he said on the show when they said, say yes or no.
Yes or no? There's some speculation out there in the universe that you could be cast as the next Black Panther.
Really quick.
Have you had any conversations about it?
Listen, I don't know. I never said this the first time. I paid attention to it, but watch the way he says yes when he asks him, but would you take the role? At the end of the what he says to him.
About that. Yes or no?
Yes, no.
By the way, the yes, no means yes.
Could mean no.
No, probably means yes. If they asked, would you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Next yes, no.
If they ask, would you say yes? And he finally gives a straight up yes.
It's a very weird yes, but okay. But yes, Cornelius is onto something there. Again, I'm gonna do a video of what I was told, but I'd say you're on the money.
Oh damn! Please don't do that because you're gonna put me on the other side of bro, and I don't want to be on the
Listen,
other side.
okay,
of bro.
I can still do a video and break something here. If you want Aldous, you want T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, you need to be pushing Aldous. Because Aldous is an older T'Challa. He fits the mold of where Chadwick left off. From what I'm being told, I still think Damson could still play Son of T'Chaka. But, you know, one of the arguments that I'm always hit with from outside viewers is, he's got a baby face. He fits more of the kid. ... With Aldous, you got that male, that kind of like that Arnold Schwarzenegger type of vibe of an actor that you were talking about, Marcus, where you're talking about how guys, you know, you kind of got that a little bit more with Aldous than you do with Damson. And I think that's why that's why you're getting the yes no. But again, what I'm told is if you want it, it's an Aldous Jody pairing that they're wanting. Who they are over at Marvel, who that they is at Marvel, I don't know, but Marvel is wanting an Aldous Jody pairing. Damson is on the table. It's not like we're turning Damson's for sure on the table, but it's a gauging the audience thing right now.
Yeah, it sounds like the chemistry test said if we use Damson, we come with what's her name, Jody. If we use Aldous, it comes with Cynthia.
Fuck no.
You were recently on an American.
Sorry, did somebody say something?
I said, please God, switch them up. God, shit, no. make Cynthia the T'Child's girlfriend. I'll take Jody over Cynthia. I was debating. I've chosen now.
But thank God it worked out on the day.
Oh my God. You were recently on an American TV show as well, talking about Black Panther. And it was kind of a yes, no. You did a very big tease as to whether you were going to be in Black Panther.
And I'm here to do it again.
Yes, no. That would be pretty awesome, though, right?
Hey, whoever plays that part, I'm going to be in the cinema with all of us supporting.
He's been practicing.
So what are you wearing this evening?
Yeah, it's the same answer. Whoever plays that part, I'll be in the cinema. And he refers to it as that part. Like, he's not giving you, it's really T'Challa, it's really, or it's T'Child, or it's the T'Chanda, the granddad, that part.
I think he is referencing T'Challa. I just don't think he has it. I think either he's still in dispute over how the role is going to be presented, or they're still courting people to play it. And so he can't, he probably has talked to them, but he didn't leave with an offer. So he still benefits him to say no as to, maintain some leverage. But I did talk to them and I do want it. So I'll play coy enough to let them know that I'm still interested. I think it's still in flux. And that would certainly go along with what Darius Scoop is saying, that they're still in the middle of deciding which way to go. I don't know how Cynthia Erivo mixes into all of this other than her asking.
I'll go ahead and read it. I mean, we're already in the damn trenches with it, so might as well. He also said that I will also add, for clarity, Disney is open to recasting with older T'Challa, but they are also open to junior. These are execs. They do not speak the same language as recast T'Challa fans. They see, oh, okay, they really want Junior, so let's give them Damson, but it will be Junior. If you advocate for Cynthia or Jodie, you may get an Aldis type actor. Understand that? I'll give you more tidbits on Storm. I'll give you one more tidbit on Storm. She is the biggest priority. The Storm casting will also play into how T'Challa continues. Again, these are white execs. They do not speak y'all's language. They write stories based on actors and the characters you want. Use your reporting wisely.
So maybe he did give us some clear directives. Maybe they're thinking that the female actors that they're courting to play Storm have a bigger profile and would be a better draw than some of the male actors they're courting to play T'Challa.
Maybe.
And so that's why Storm is being but then that's so backwards, man, because now Storm determines what type of T'Challa you can cast. That is so backwards. That's backwards. First of all, there shouldn't really be a stipulation on either one of these characters. Like, oh, we have to silo in the type of people that we're casting for T'Challa because we casted this Storm. And then vice versa. Like, oh, we casted this T'Challa, so we can only cast these certain type of people to play Storm. Like, I don't feel like we should be cutting ourselves off like that. You could be cutting on some viable options.
I'll read this part to you too.
Good.
He said, that's all I can say for now. But please be careful how you word this, because your reporting could be the result of what actually happens. Y'all are low-key erasing T'Challa by begging for Damson. Again, this is why Erivo is in the conversation. So that she can match a T'Challa of mature age, like Aldis. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Which is why Marvel doesn't want Cynthia. They want Jodie. Jodie is the key to getting what real Black Panther fans want. So be careful.
That's a great advice. I mean, I'll take him like he means it, right? Like, yeah, I can see the Damson Idris. He is younger, so Chadwick Boseman died, and the last time we saw T'Challa was 40. So yeah. Aldis it is. I mean, I've never been too picky, anyways. But sure, Aldis it is. Okay.
He said a lot more that I haven't. I mean, like I said, I'm here, so. This is why, and this is in no order. This is all in, I'm reading out of order now. This is why I stay off the T'Challa issue. And this is why Damson actually didn't want to play T'Challa, because he knows exactly what the fans want. Damson already knows how y'all despise Junior. That's why he doesn't want to play the character.
He read my mentions.
Good. Good. Holy hell. Somebody's listening. Shit. And now it's unfortunate that they don't think that he can play. Damson in his mid-30s, isn't he? It's like 32, 33 years old. He's a grown-ass man. I don't know why we can't put Damson Idris next to Jodie Turner and make that work. But if that's what leads us back to Aldous Hodge, all right, Damson, listen, man, there will be other characters.
Yeah.
There's going to be other roles.
And I can hear him saying, if whoever gets the part, I'll be in the cinemas supporting it. Like, Damson's like, yes, good answer, Damson. I think you get it. I think Damson gets it. Like, if they do end up going with actual T'Challa, then he knows that's not his, but he'll be there to support Aldous or whoever the older guy is. Good, Damson.
33 would be 36 by the time the film comes out, pretty much. Yeah.
But see, this is so it's wild, and I expressed that to him. I said, it's a little wild. I said, 1 minute we are advocating for Damson, and the next minute we are now advocating for Aldous. We all just got excited because we saw Damson. Presumably, we all kind of thought, oh, this may be about T'Challa. I mean, I get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. We were going back and forth about it, but. I mean, Aldous was my number one anyway. Damson's always just been in my top 3, but it's always been a very close with Damson. But I would love to have Aldous Hodge in that role. It would be great, or or Aldous type actor. But I really don't want an Aldous type actor. I would just want Aldous if we're going to do it. If we're lending our ear to Cynthia Erivo, God, for whatever reason, as she has publicly stated she wants it, so is Aldous twice now. He has said it in that interview, and then the producer or whoever it was, is it his?
Yeah, the writer of Cross.
Came out and talked about how they talk about it privately. So he talks about it. He has said it publicly as well. So if we're lending an ear to Cynthia for whatever God knows what reason. Lend an ear to Aldous.
Like,
you said earlier that it would be weird for us to go from celebrating Damson and cheering for him and then going to Aldous. That's not exactly accurate, Darius. I never said it's got to be Damson or he was my number one pick. I was always open to whoever it is.
No, I don't mean
I'll
it like that.
Stop rooting for Damson.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean it like last week it was Damson. And then if July 1st, it's going to be Aldous. And Damson's going to be like, well, fuck, mate. What did I do? Like what's going on?
Well, mate.
So it's like, I don't know. But like he said, he knows nobody wants Junior. He doesn't want to play Junior. He knows that people despise Junior.
I'm so proud of him. I have never been more proud of a man I don't know. I'm so proud because it things that make sense are starting to make sense to others. Starting to make sense to people who are not us, who, just talk about the decisions being made as opposed to being actually able to make the decisions. Like common sense is starting to win out. Now we only got a brief moment of that. It ain't gonna be like this forever. So July 1st, y'all get to it and y'all do your thing because
we're 5 days away. Prepare your memes and your tweets and get in the comment section of other people talking about Black Panther and Eyes of Wakanda or Ironheart or whatever it is. Get in there and talk about how important Black Panther is. Force it and then use the hashtag recast T'Challa. Make it a trending topic. It's the anniversary of that character since he debuted. We got to be there for this day. And no one can say, you're being insensitive. This is the day Chad died. That's what they tried to say to us last time. All right. Well, I thought I was honoring him by continuing the thing he started, like the way we honored Stan Lee by continuing his stories, and we didn't stop every single character he created. I thought we were doing something great for Chadwick Boseman, but all right, this is the day Chad died.
They themselves haven't thought about Chadwick Boseman. So that's like Marvel doesn't think about Chadwick Boseman. If they did on his birthday, they would have, posted something on, or something like that. They don't care. They don't
see. What's interesting is he died in 2020. That's in August. We got no mourning, no celebration, no nothing in 2021. Nothing. And then when it was time to ramp up that movie, all of a sudden we get these ABC specials, and we get so much about Chadwick Boseman, this and that, just because there was a movie. They marketed the film off of his death, which was deplorable. It was disgusting. And before I forget, I'm going to share this because it is relevant. It was what was said during the Aldous Hodge. I'll just play a little bit.
What do you think about Aldous Hodge as Black Panther?
I talked to Aldous a lot, so we have not spoken about this out loud, actually, almost like we don't want to jinx it, but I 100% agree. To me, And you know this feeling. We all know it when it's happening. Is when somebody who's sort of been bubbling for a long time. You've been appreciating them. You've been tracking them. You've been saying, "Oh, he's always good. Every time I see him, he's good." Or, "Oh, she always had that little spark." As soon as they blow up, you can see when they're on that brink. And then when it happens to the right people, it's so satisfying because you are happy for them, but you've also, it's sort of like you've been waiting for this moment. And for me, Aldous Hodge, him stepping into a role like, T'Challa would be, really that sort of symbolic shout out, broadcasting to the world that this is his time.
T'Challa specifically is the word he used, and that's important that he knows what we're talking about. That's Ben Watkins.
I wonder if, I didn't pay attention to it the very first time I heard him say that, but he could have just been saying, we don't want to jinx it, just, being superstitious. Or maybe it's like, we don't want to jinx it. Maybe he's had conversations with them, and we don't want to talk about it out loud.
Different light now. Like you see that one part of the sentence completely different now.
Completely different from when I first viewed it. Yeah, maybe he's saying we don't want to jinx it because we're in the middle of conversations and we don't want to say something that could take us out of the running for this role. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think if Aldous can do the voice, we got him. He's in shape. He's great. Yes.
Could you imagine him walking out in that
all age?
Oh my God!
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Oh, I know you're not a fan of the cow, but I would love to have the cape. Like he walks out in that shit.
Well, now do you saying they go back to old school Black Panther with the cow? Okay, yeah.
It'd be tough.
Aldous has one of the most popular shows on Prime Video, Cross. I saw Hawkman as his audition tape. Yeah. See, he auditioned already for superhero.
I don't think he was a bad Hawkman.
No,
I don't think he was a bad Hawkman, and he had a pretty good performance. I just think that obviously what happened with Black Adam put a bit of a stain on all of that, but the performance by him wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
I want to see black and gold accents with the cape.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I picture it. Yeah, with the black and gold. He has the look. His online AI T'Challa picture went viral. Shit, it's about to go viral again, Professor Film Fan, on Tuesday.
It did go viral.
Shannon Sharp asked about that. Yeah. Hey, good segment, man. Good Black Panther segment. We want to do Mahershala Ali. Where are we going with this one? With the Blade, the answer that he gave to the Blade question. Did we all see it?
Mm-hmm.
I did see it. I also think it's a bunch of bullshit. Just like I think them saying, "Oh, hey guys, Blade's back on the table for 2039." It's like, who cares? And I'm gonna be honest with you, this could be a hot take. I could be alone. At this point, I don't want to see Mahershala Ali as Blade. I don't. We're past that. Black does not crack, but I'm sorry. In the interview he did where he gave the answer, he does look older from when we saw him on stage when he put the hat on. So he still looks good. He's still Mahershala. I mean, hey, that Black still is holding up. But I don't want to see him in the Blade role for the next 10 to 12 years. I'm sorry.
It makes me feel like that he's not going to be featured in that way anyways. They plan to use him as a cameo fest. Like I could easily see Mahershala stepping into the role that Sam Jackson occupied in the MCU for so long if they're serious about the more mythical and mystic tinge to the MCU going forward post Secret Wars. Like if they're serious about a Midnight Suns thing, if they're serious about having Scarlet Witch come back and really going into that magical part of Marvel, I could see them using him as the de facto Nick Fury of the Mystic world. but then that precludes him from having his own projects. It stops him from building up a profile for his character and his character alone. He's just used as nostalgia bait. He's the quintessential cameo for everybody's project. I feel like that's more likely than anything at this point than him having a whole full-blown trilogy or something like that. Because damn, it's been 6 years. We haven't gotten so much as a teaser. It's been 6 years.
Shall I play it?
You know, I'm just taking it a day at a time. I'm doing the best work I can. I just did a movie called Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother that I'm very excited about, that I got to scratch my stunts itch. You know, got to do some sword work.
Damn sure ain't doing it at Marvel.
Story. I would love for Blade to happen. We'll see. I don't know where Marvel is at right now. I'm looking for the next great part. I really am. You know,
they did not play that whole clip when I seen it before. It was just like a call Marvel or ask Marvel. I don't know where Marvel is at right now. Feels like they canceled my shit. They canceled my shit.
Mahershala's 51. He will be 52 here soon.
Calm down. Wesley.
Here's that second question.
It was like 36, 37 when he shot the first Blade.
And here's Variety asking him.
Got another action movie we're really hoping to see soon. When will you start filming Blade?
Yeah, it's call Marvel. I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready.
The second time he is asked, and he shifts it, all fingers pointed towards Marvel Studios. David Goyer said, "You guys need help." He actually hit them up, and they said, "No, we think we cracked it now. We're fine. We understand it."
Liars. Niggas lying. They just lying.
I don't know what to say. Like, what can they do? Come on stage on D23 Expo and say, "We're doing Blade," and everyone will be excited? Like, you know, we're years away from this.
They gotta show something.
Yeah, man. We're just past that, you know. It's because and like I said, my power was out with storming down here. But I was listening on my phone when you guys were talking about Ironheart and just talking about, you know, the difference in the episodes, and it's just we're just not in that time. And I know that Daredevil still came out week to week, but they really expected Daredevil to pop. But we are just not in that time where you can just like I'm in 2019. Sure, Blade was like, yeah, and maybe still there are some people that are like, yeah, I'm not in that place personally. I'm not in that place where you can just throw stuff out. And like this whole thing about, they've been talking about some of the scoopers been talking about, like some of the upcoming projects for the next phase. I don't frankly give a fuck. And it's like, it's just like, because I just like, can we, back in the day, I'd be like, oh shit, they're doing that. Oh, let's,
back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore.
12 years from now, oh, that's gonna be dope. Oh my God. Like, I heard y'all talking about the Inhumans. Yeah, I remember that time. Everybody's like, oh my God, this is so dope. We're not in that era. We are just not there. We're not there. So they can't just throw out shows or characters or names and think that people are just gonna be like, I'm sold. We're not there. We're not there. People still watched Miss Marvel, even though it was in a waning interest time for Marvel. This time with Ironheart, regardless of the people getting online, I've seen some of the reviews, people getting online and saying, oh, it's, you know, don't listen. And it may not be one of the worst things ever produced. I haven't seen it. I can't speak to it, but we're still not in an era where you can get on there and people be like, you know what? It's not that bad. People are saying it's not that bad. I'm gonna check it out. I was looking again, on Facebook at the Marvel posted something about Ironheart on their Facebook Marvel page, and people were calling her the Temu, comparing her to Temu stuff, or comparing Ironheart to this or that. And it's just, we are not in that era. We're not. And if it doesn't deal with, again, the spectacle, the big bang, boom, in your face, hi-yow, I don't think it's gonna. Still don't think it's gonna matter. So we'll see.
The type of iron I am not as Iron Man. Bars. That's just a perform at the Super Bowl. I prefer the Marvel Hulu series. What, you talking about the Runaways?
She's a little runaway.
I started Ms. Marvel, didn't finish it. I want to finish Ironheart. Ironheart is one word. That's why it's not trending, see? Because some people write it with the space and some people don't.
They can't find it.
Yeah. Now, what is this about? Because I haven't seen it. What is this about? The Mando Grogu movie being a damn trilogy? Why is this a trilogy now?
I'll tell you right after this.
I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro.
We got a super chat coming out of the Culture Made channel, $2. No, I was saying every superhero is a bastard. Every superhero is a bastard? If you mean orphan, yeah, but every superhero is a bastard?
Not a bastard.
Illegitimate son?
Superman is definitely not a bastard. Batman, definitely not a bastard. Spider-Man, definitely not a bastard.
Oh, I wouldn't say he's a bastard. No, I think they were both married.
Bastards are fatherless children. That's what a bastard is.
What? A fatherless child?
Are fatherless children.
That's what bastard
is. Like a motherless child. That's a different song. But you could have substituted fatherless in there.
If you don't have a father, you're a bastard. That's not exactly. Again, if you had a dad and he died, that doesn't make you a bastard. That makes you an orphan. If your dad left you and he died, that makes you a bastard. See the difference? It's the abandonment factor.
Yeah, well, look, what are we doing? We
personally
it's not a welcoming environment right now. Some people
I'm just trying to tell y'all what the words mean.
I thought it meant married out of wedlock. That's a bastard son. Like
that also could be illegitimate children. So like if the kid's married, or excuse me, if the dad is married and already has a family, and then he has a baby by his side chick, that child is a bastard.
Well, you guys know I've talked about it before publicly. My family was here and enslaved by the 5 civilized tribes, my ancestors. And on the Dawes enrollment cards, they classify them as bastards. If they don't have, they write bastard. So
we're striking a chord here. Let's get back to this Star Wars. Go back to Mandalorian.
Why is this a trilogy? Why is the Mando Grogu movie being moved to a damn trilogy?
Ask Daniel RPK. He's the one who gave us this on his Patreon. He said that this, if it's successful, we'll make more movies for it, and there's a plan to make it a trilogy easily. Because look, this is basically season 4 of the Mandalorian TV show. They have more story to do. They'll just adapt it into a film instead of doing a TV version of it. Simple. You mad at that? If it's successful, let's go. Let's have fun.
I'm not mad at that at all. I just wonder how much longer Star Wars fans are going to put up with Grogu, because I'm confused on his purpose now. I thought I knew his purpose in 2018, 2019, and then as we got to season 3, and now we're doing a movie that's going to turn into a trilogy. What the fuck are we doing with Grogu since you ripped him away from Luke and for whatever reason put him back with Mando? So where are we going with this?
I wouldn't be too moved by this news if I were you, and I'll tell you why. This news about Mando Grogu potentially being a trilogy now comes 4 or 5, maybe 6 months after a reported Simon Kinberg trilogy with Rey. You think we're gonna be doing those trilogies at the same time at Lucasfilm? You think they got the capacity? They fighting, y'all. They're fighting. They're fighting in the trades. They're trying to gain back the narrative on where Star Wars is going. And right now they're not going anywhere because they can't even decide leadership at the moment. I think that there is a legitimate civil war going on at Lucasfilm, and they're fighting through the trades. Now, how Filoni is fighting back, I mean, he obviously might not have his connections in Hollywood, and also I think the sources reporting this potential expansion on the Mando Grogu thing are a little bit like, I don't think it was in Hollywood Reporter or anything like that. It wasn't in any of those type of publications. It was more of a rumor mill thing, right? So yeah, it's to a lesser degree. I still think that there's a power struggle in there over information and what people actually hear, because I don't believe that they're officially developing 2 more Mando Grogu movies, even any more than I believe that they're moving forward with a Rey trilogy. I don't think either one of those things are happening. I think Sean Levy is going to get the next Star Wars movie, and that's probably the only thing that's definitively in production for Star Wars right now on the silver screen. TV shows is something different. But for the movies, the only thing that they're working on right now is Starfighter.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, I'm not even interested in that one.
Now, if they do end up making Mando Grogu a trilogy, I think that decision has to come with an age up. Like, I mean, by the end of the first movie, we should already be teasing a time jump. We should be teasing a time jump by the end of this movie that's coming out next year.
Yeah, no, he's got to be older.
He's got to be talking. I'm not watching 3 movies.
Yeah.
No. Talk. Powerful am I? I better hear something like that. Okay, coming soon, like quickly.
Yeah. I'd even like if he didn't talk backwards, but they need to. They need to do something with him, because I don't understand what the purpose of the character is anymore.
I don't want him talking backwards either. And now that I think of it, not Grogu, not Yoda, the Yaddle, she didn't talk backwards, so we're good.
Yeah, the only two of those species we know of. I don't even know what the species is.
Not yet.
They
should call them the Kathleen Kennedys.
Watch James Mango going to address what that race is. You know, he's going back 1,000 years.
Yeah, we'll figure it out there. But he won't call it the Kathleen Kennedys. He'll call it something else.
Well, he better not, because didn't he say he doesn't want to be tied down by lore?
And then picks the movie that that establishes the lore for the entire thing. That's a scary quote, y'all. Y'all should be afraid. They gave this man a movie and a chance to define Star Wars lore pretty definitively, because he gets to talk about the creation of the Force. But then he doesn't give a shit about any of that. So it feels like he's about to waste an opportunity to rewrite Star Wars history.
I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of the directors and people thinking, oh, like let's rewrite Star Wars. What does that mean? What do you like?
Let's fuck it up.
Let's rewrite what George like. Yeah, no, I'm good. Don't do that. Leave Star Wars alone. But him going back all that time, he would still be tied down by lore, because it's in lore. We don't know who the species is, but there's a reason. Yoda has talked about it in Star Wars lore before, not his species, but he talks about why it's not known. So he would be tied down by that either way if he goes back and he's like, oh, okay, well, a Yoda species is this.
Well, also, it has to somehow feed into the things that we've already seen. Like, going backwards 1,000 years doesn't disconnect you from the lore. It just means you get to establish it. You get to provide answers to things we never got answers to.
Maybe this doesn't happen. Maybe his film just doesn't happen.
Like, I don't get it, man. I hate history. I hate it. So I'm going back to ancient archaeology and study dinosaur bones because I can't deal with any of that human history. Like, wait, what? Fam, what are you talking about? You can't be driving the bus and hate starting the car. You can't be a pilot and hate taking off. Right? If you got problems with loud explosions, I wouldn't suggest that you get into a rocket. If you have a problem with lore, why are you working for the most lore-ridden IP in all of Hollywood?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that, Culture Mate. Does he? Does he understand that? It seems like he thinks he gets to go 1,000 years in the past and nothing he writes matters.
Tima Filoni. Okay? When they do the split, let's get Carrie Beck and Dave Filoni in the creative space and the producer space, president space, and we're good. We got the best case scenario. KK, she can claim that she'll still be producing Star Wars films, but those just will never be greenlit.
Let her do Andor season 3. She can stay on to do Andor. Since that seems to be her distraction toy, just let her make Andor content indefinitely.
We're getting close to the end of the year. Like she did, I think the rumor was she's retiring this year, or she told Deadline she's leaving this year. But we're getting close to that final day, and I don't know. I'm gonna be celebratory that day. I'm gonna have a very, very good time on stream.
You're not.
Why not?
No, you're not. Because the last time we did that, she came out firing. She came out, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Well, when she does say I'm fucking leaving,
we know she's gone, like officially out of the building.
When she recognizes it, when she like addresses it, and she says, I am no longer the president. Congratulations to the new guys.
No, because Iger did that. He walked right back in. He never left his office. When she leaves the C-suite at Disney, we know it's official.
You know what? They're going to keep her in good graces. Why? Because Cara Dune, Gina Carano, is suing the company. And when Kathleen Kennedy takes the stand, they want Kathleen Kennedy to say everything nice. So they got to keep her happy.
They ain't settled that yet. When is the trial date for this lawsuit? Like, when is this supposed to happen?
I don't know, but Elon's not going to run out of money, so they can delay it as much as they want to.
Are you talking about what's her name? Oh, oh yeah, I didn't even know that was still a thing.
So confused.
It's still in motion.
That I will retire with the ring, and I will retire with the crown. Yes, no, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed.
We got a super
clap
chat
for the heavyweight champ, but I couldn't do it all alone.
This is okay. We didn't need all that, Barb.
Hey, brother, I can pull Roman out real quick.
MCU standard is bastard.
Take it wherever it needs to go.
Star-Lord is a bastard. Yeah,
right. Left or left with dead parents does not equal bastard. I got the out of wedlock thing. I got the fatherless child thing. It is a child that is outside of a family structure by a choice of some sort.
Bastard.
Not out of circumstances. Like Peter, can't talk. We need to get off the stream. Peter's parents raised them until they had to go off and do their super spy shit, and they left them with Ben and Aunt May. Like, Peter's not a bastard.
He's a bastard. Glimmercast with the 10 Chillmonger memberships. Thank you. It actually says who we got to. I gotta get on some membership videos. Thank you for that, Rhea. We get some more since you mentioned Star-Lord. Where's the one I got? Oh, Star-Lord dancing.
Star-Lord dad definitely claimed him.
$5 from Michael Nemo. What's Disney doing right? What can you count on for Disney to not let you down on? Pixar's always been good, okay? There.
Nah, there's also
Star Wars Mall show. That's fire. That's great. That's great. Okay, we got them there.
Ahsoka.
Avatar now has been acquired from James Cameron. I'm excited for all of them. Ahsoka's, some Star Wars stuff going on there. That makes me happy. And I'm good for Avengers Secret Wars with Russo brothers. I'm sure that they are capable, right? Stephen McFeely is writing. I'm good. So
also,
that's
you got it. No, finish up.
Is it Dorian? Go, you go.
I just want to say I don't know if Michael Nemo is trolling us or if he's being serious, with the, what is Disney doing right thing. It is not my responsibility to talk nicely about these companies. It's not. I'm a consumer. If I don't like what they're putting out, that's just what it is. Make something good. Make something good.
Oh, I could do this, mentioning the things that they are doing and why I'm not interested in Wonder Man, Eyes of Wakanda, which is coming. I don't care about Vision Quest. Like, there's things they're doing I just don't care about.
I am not
Andor. We don't care about Andor. We can agree on that.
I'm not going to fold myself into pretzels to find something nice to say about the studio. If it's not the time to say something nice, it's not the time to say something nice. If you suck, you suck. It just is what it is, fam. Do better. Do better. What is Disney doing right now? Shit. Okay? Do better. It's not my responsibility to hold them up. They have plenty of shields and bots online to do that for them. That's what they pay for.
Yes. Speaking of shills and bots online, my favorite resident, not a real person AI came in here. His name was Kevin Davis. You know what he said? Let me get you, Kevin. Let me find your quote. Here. If the MCU eventually does recast T'Challa, folks going to root for it to fail to teach Marvel Studios a lesson. Thank you for that input, Kevin Davis. We love it.
I agree. There's a large segment of the fan base that was ready to do that last film. So I agree. And I got your clarification, Michael Nemo. We're on the same page. I got you.
Hey, yo, I once was a kid. All I had was a dream. More money, more problems. When I get it, I'm a pound it out.
Michael Nemo with another 5. Lore doesn't sell tickets. Disney wants money, not fans. Think about that. Disney doesn't want fans. They only want revenue. You can't get one without the other.
Lore may not sell tickets, but it absolutely sells merchandise. And if there was one reason why they bought Lucasfilm in the first place, it wasn't just the ticket sales. Like I don't think that was the main part of the machine that they wanted to purchase. They wanted the marketability. They wanted to be able to put the characters in the parks. They wanted to be able to sell lunch boxes. They wanted to be able to reap in all the merchandising money that comes along with the brand like Star Wars. So you're right. Maybe it doesn't always get butts in the seats, but it definitely sells outside of the theater. The history, the expanded universe around a project helps it propagate further away from the theater. The bigger the lore, the more you can sell off of that IP.
For example, Battlefront 2. Why do you think it's one of the number one, not just because of the online play, but because of the lore of the online play? It expands beyond the movies. Character-wise, there are characters and that they have added that are from the expanded universe, and on and on and on and on.
Somebody mentioned Harry Potter earlier. Lord of the Rings is another one. Yeah, maybe the lore isn't what's putting the butts in the seats, but it for sure is what's making you buy a Gandalf costume for Halloween.
When Solo: A Star Wars Story only grossed 392. That's lore. We know this character Han Solo for so long, and that's why you got the 398 out of us, 92 out of us.
I'm so surprised that movie made that much money.
Lore gives you money in the long term. When I get fans who are interested and invested, that means that the next time I throw something out with the name Marvel on it, they'll show up. Even when Captain Marvel 2 only grosses 200 million, that's because of the lore of Marvel, which got loyal people to show up. Yeah, you build the lore, you build the fan base. The last topic of the day would be talking about the X-Men director, Jake Schreier. Ryan Coogler was being asked about the X-Men director directing X-Men, and he goes, nah, that's Jake's. That's on him. It's his movie. That's his business. He doesn't want to infringe. He doesn't want to step on toes. In doing so, he reveals that is the director of the X-Men and that these rumors have been validated. I don't know. I don't think he would just make that up. Speak out of line. He hasn't walked it back yet. Jake Schreier, who did Thunderbolts, is doing the X-Men. Chillmonger doesn't care. Chillmonger didn't like Thunderbolts.
Talk about failing up. Talked about it earlier. So Thunderbolts underperforms, makes less than Captain America. Jake Schreier is your new director of X-Men. Meanwhile, Julius Ona is sitting around there like, what does it fuck me for? What What does it fuck me for? You know what I'm saying? If that's all you needed to do to get a promotion around here, I think I'm due. I didn't get too excited about this just because, man, the guys who usually start these projects don't end them. They're going to go through many reshoots. They're going to go through several different concept changes on how they present the story. And the unfortunate fact is Jake may not even make it through that. So I think we've got a while to go before there's any real jeopardy in terms of the X-Men. But in terms of the prospect of him doing it, I haven't seen the Thunderbolts yet, so I have no clue what type of director he is. Nia DaCosta too. I hear you, Cornelius. She like, oh, that's what you needed to do? Sure.
She's fine. She has 28 years later.
She does. Yeah. She does. She got other projects.
I have seen the Thunderbolts.
You like the ending where they didn't fight the villain? Did you like that?
No. I have said I didn't like their interpretation of
Sentry.
Well, I won't say I didn't like their interpretation. I didn't like the seconds we got with Sentry. But do I think that he is the guy for X-Men? I mean, I don't know. Probably not. I think that this is a thing that is done all the time with Marvel or with directors in general. Anytime somebody does a good film, it's like, oh, he did, like Taika. I mean, they did it with Taika. Oh, God, Taika did such a good job. And I say that Taika did. He did a good job with Ragnarok. However, Thor: Love and Thunder is something to punch Taika in the throat about. Like, it's an awful film. Like, I wouldn't want him to come back to Marvel. I know that they even said that he's possibly still doing his I don't even want him touching anything Star Wars. I don't want him touching anything that I like. So I want him to just, so it's stuff like that. So I think that it's premature. Jake did a good job with Thunderbolts. They thought that Thunderbolts was really good. Even though it didn't do great in the, numbers wise, they still really like it. So I think they're just thinking, hey, in-house guy, he's here. We like Thunderbolts. He handled this ensemble well. So let's go give him characters with actual powers and see if he can handle that. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be the name attached at the end of the credits when we sit down to watch X-Men. I think that's just the name they're throwing out there now.
That in-house guy, that logic, I kind of like it. Bryce Dallas Howard, Rick Famuyiwa, Favreau, Filoni. Those are that four core in-house guys also who are in Star Wars, and it's working for them. So yeah, let's try it out with Marvel, right? Destin Daniel Cretton, he's doing the Spider-Man. He did Wonder Man, and he did Shang-Chi. Like, you got an in-house dude, right? Russo brothers are in-house because technically, this is their fifth or sixth movie that they're doing with Marvel. Yeah, keep guys around, and it's easier to keep secrets. You don't have to explain things over again. Keep guys in-house.
I mean, it's working with Shackman. I mean, Shackman did WandaVision, and he just did Fantastic Four. It is an in-house deal, but sometimes.
But wasn't Shackman on? What was he on? It was Dynasty, wasn't it? Was it Kang Dynasty?
No.
Or wait.
Get your ass from over there before you knock that shit down.
Uh-oh. I forgot. Shackman's name was on something else. But yeah, I agree with Darius, man. I don't think that he'll be the guy whose name is rolling on the credits when the movie actually hits the theaters. So, I mean, if this just is a ploy to keep him within the Marvel ranks so he can work another project eventually, and he doesn't go out and take another job in somebody else's studio. I mean,
yeah. Michael Nemo is hilarious. Sorry to interrupt you, bro. He said, "Yes, Daddy."
It really doesn't matter. I'm not watching this shit. Man. The reveal of Cynthia Erivo as Storm is that's a nightmare.
She's gonna say, "Winds of sand, heed my command." Right,
she gonna sing it. Yeah, she gonna fucking sing it. I'm gonna throw my shoe. Boo this man.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming to another Pantheon. We appreciate that. For weeks, you guys chill with us. 3 of us got something to do on Thursdays. Does it got to be? When's the next time we want to go live? Does it got to be Thursday, Darius?
No, it doesn't have to be Thursdays.
Explain this.
Yeah, so we are going to try to do a deal here where we are not just going live on Thursdays. It wouldn't be an everyday Pantheon stream, but it would be more than once a week to where if there's something that's really big, some news out there, we all have the time we can jump on and talk to you guys about it and hang out with you guys a little bit more as we continue to try to build the Pantheon side of all 3 of our channels combined while individually growing our individual channels. So yeah, we appreciate every single one of you guys continuing to stick in and hang out with us and growing the audience. I think last week was a pretty big week, and this week still pretty big week. So definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to show this before we leave. Sorry.
Okay. We'll go live on Tuesday for a recast T'Challa Day. That's a huge day. We're going to talk about it. We're going to look at what the positive tweets are, what some of the negative tweets are, combat them. I'll probably go live like 3 different times during that day, right? And then we'll do a big one at the ending with all the content creators. If you guys are available, that goes to Blue. Who's it? Rhea? Who's here? Who's the content creator? Dre Mac, if you're free. I'll probably do another one of those huge content creator, like, let's all party and talk.
Tina's watching, I'm sure. She's just lurking.
She dreads you.
She dreads me.
Did y'all see? I didn't see this till just now. I was scrolling on Twitter. SGA was on Good Morning America high as hell.
What? Are you celebrating? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, high as hell. You're not gonna be able to hear this because
He was at the studio inside, or was it a webcam?
No, this was through. Why did I share yours? There we go. You're not gonna be able to hear it, but they're clapping for him right now when he looked up.
Eyes low as shit.
Sleep deprived.
She said NBA champion. That has a ring to you.
He just won a championship. He tired.
Bro, if you could hear him, she said NBA champion. That have a ring to you. Then he had that smile. He said, yeah, dreamed about it my whole life. That shit is funny. These guys are young as fuck. That shit is funny.
Why is he still in Oklahoma? The parade was yesterday. Why are you still there of all places? Go back to Canada. Go to.
He bought a.
That's his home. That's where he worked.
He invested in a major property here. He plans to be here, I'm assuming, for some time. Most of the Thunder players live in Galardia, and it's massive, crazy. And that's where he lives. And his house that he just bought is ridiculous.
Don't be jealous, Chill. He belongs to Oklahoma now.
You know what I'm jealous of? The weather that he's got to enjoy. That's what annoys me.
Your weather sucks. It's no better down here.
Our weather is cold for the majority of the. Never mind. Who cares? Yeah, man. Thank you to Shea Gilgis Alexander. I'm gonna leave you guys on this little no Josh today. Little message, little recast T'Challa message, and I'll add. Let's not be Damson Idris heavy with it because we could be, as Darius has told us from his source, we could be rooting for the T'Child when we say make Damson Idris be cast. He's young, and that's what they would do. Let's focus more on using that AI image of Aldous Hodge that's out there, and just kind of steer clear from the Damson from now on, moving forward. That doesn't mean hate on Damson or anything negative. Like that's just let's get the message clear. No one's telling you to hate Damson Idris. Okay.
Yes, no one's saying hate Damson. Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Here it is. It's not adding to the stage, but I'm clicking on it multiple times. Oh, that's why. There.
No, I think we hit it at the same time. My bad.
What if black kids in the hood idolize this king from Africa? We can't have that because they'll clean their lives up and try to be more and do right. Because when you look at movies, Movies inspire people so much it makes them change their lives.
Oh, we repeat our actions. We even speak the way the characters speak.
We'll spend the throwaway money on projects like Eyes of Wakanda to show that we care, but we really don't. That's just a tax write-off show.
It's just a tax write-off?
Tax write-off show, man.
When they made the decision that they made, they didn't want this.
You have to go up there.
No, mommy said it's not safe.
Black Panther doesn't have a mommy.
Because of Black Panther doesn't mean that I go up a ladder.
Why not? It's going to save the day. Save the day.
He was Black Panther, and not once did they say anything about, oh, look at the way I look, and I don't match the character. He was a part of a character who's in the pop culture zeitgeist, just like Superman is and just like Spider-Man is. He decided to dress up like a hero. Here we go, which is the change we want to see in the world. And executives, do we just normalize a black superhero? Nah, bro, we don't do that. That's why Static Shock isn't a thing. We don't do that.
He got too popular, man. The secret of why they're doing this is because they don't want T'Challa to be more popular than RDJ character, Chris Evans character. He damn sure more popular than Chris Hemsworth. You know, they just don't want that.
While I try to not speak for Chad, I know it's not something he would have wanted to end because he transitioned.
Emotionally, there's no reason not to recast. There's no reason to gatekeep use Chadwick Boseman. There's no benefit at all. And if we don't want to use T'Challa, then I'm only going to look at it as anti-black. And if we want the child in there, it's because you don't want that character to become what Superman became. I'm Chillmonger, and I'm signing out.
Peace.